John 11:9 first, Proverbs 26:14.
We're live right now.
We're live. All right. Shalom, Israel. Good to see everybody. Good to be back. Dawiyad had taught for me on Wednesday night. I'm going to return the favor and cover him for today. It's good to see everybody in person and also online. Shalom and shout out to everybody with this Shabbat. Shabbat shalom to the families. Good to see y'all. Good to see me. And hopefully everybody's households are at peace and situations are stable and growing in the spirit.
Yeah.
All right. And it's good to see everybody. Let's go ahead and get started. The topic of the class. Well, let me say this first. Shout out and shalom to Houston, most definitely. Brothers in Houston, Stream of Wisdom in Rochester, New York, and Norfolk, Virginia. Cabo Cabo down in Guatemala. Shout out and shalom to his congregation, and Amiatza in London. All the brothers in New Mexico, Florida, Detroit, California. Shalom. Shout out to you and your families as well. Let's go ahead and get started. It's called Overcoming Perpetual Malfunction. And I just wanted to bring this up because it's easy to fall backwards and to backslide. It's easy to be set back in your forward progress. It doesn't take much to get overwhelmed, and it doesn't take much to be in a situation where you're in a rut and you're trying to climb back out of a hole. And it doesn't take much. It takes some stress. It could take some things not going as planned.
A thought.
It could take thoughts. It could take feelings, emotions, just not being fulfilled. Whatever the case may be, it could be. You could bring something to you to where you're dealing with a battle and you're falling behind, and it's like, man, I'm running and I'm swimming and I'm just treading water. I'm not actually going anywhere. I'm just moving. I'm just working. I'm just doing the same thing every day. But hopefully after this class we can get some leeway on how to overcome this, because the topic of the class is overcome perpetual malfunction. All right, let's go ahead and get started. John chapter 11 verse 9. First reader. St. John chapter 11 verse 9. Let's get started.
St. John chapter 11 and verse 9 reads, Yahushua answered, "Are there not 12 hours in the day?"
So Christ, what I love about what he's doing right here, Christ is breaking the day down, and he's letting us know that there's what?
12 hours in the day?
He says, so he's breaking the day down incrementally. He said there's 12 hours in the day. That means that you got time to get things done.
Yeah.
There's time allotted to get things done. But you have to know what you're doing in a day in order to move forward in a day. He says, are there not 12 hours in a day? So we should have time to get things accomplished. Read on.
If any man walk in the day.
He says, if a man walk in the day, and we're going to break down what this means. He says, if any man walk in the day, read on.
He stumbleth not.
There is no setbacks. There is no handicaps. There is no, man, feel like I'm just spinning my wheels and I'm just going through the motions.
Yeah.
If you walk in the day, then you will feel none of these things. Like, I don't know if I'm growing. You don't have to ask yourself these questions. Am I growing? Or do I have to make a phone call to somebody? Say, brother, do you notice if I've grown since you know me for all this time? Have I grown since you know me?
Yeah.
You don't have to ask these kind of questions because you already know the answer. Because you know what you're doing and why you're doing it. And that's why the day is so critical. What he's talking about is you're conscious of your goal. Walking in the day means you know what you're doing and you know why you do what you do.
Yeah.
But if you forget what you're doing, why you're doing what you're doing, and who are you doing it for, then that can be classified as walking in what? Read on. In the darkness. Or, like Christ said, like what? My water?
He stumbleth not.
Go ahead.
Because he seeth the light of this world.
Read.
But if a man walk in the night.
So Christ is breaking down a day to night. The day is the person that knows what they're doing. They know why they do what they do, and they know who they're doing it for. I know why I'm here. I know what purpose I serve. I know who I serve. I know the reasons behind everything that I do. He says they walk in the day, and they're not tripping, and there's no setbacks. He says they stumbleth not, meaning they're not tripping about what they're doing. There is no argument. There's no debate. There's no tussle. There's no hassle. There's no malfunctions. There's no, I'm trying to wrap my head around all the things that's going on. I got so many things going on. You already know what you're doing and why you're doing it. He says, but when you're walking at night, then what happens?
He's stumbling.
So he's stumbling. Meaning, if I'm unsure or if I'm ignorant at what am I doing and why am I here, if I ever grow ignorant or uncertain, I'm unsure about why the Most High got me in this truth and what am I supposed to be doing with this knowledge, then there's going to be plenty room for what? Error. Plenty room for error, plenty room for malfunction, or like Christ said, you're going to stumble. You're going to set yourself back from forward momentum when you're uncertain of your purpose. When it's unsure about why you are here. It's very important that we know why we do what we do.
Yeah.
And who we serve while we do it. It's very critical.
And also it says in Matthew 5 that we are the light of the world, so if there's light around, there's other lights around to see and watch you and be circumspect of what's going on around you. Other brothers and sisters are going to be able to say, hey, this is a warning. Blowing the trumpet. Beware.
Mm-hmm. That's a great point. Because but if imagine if we combine light, what happens? It gets brighter.
Yeah.
The purpose is more fulfilling. But when everybody knows what they're doing. But the setback is, why am I in this truth? If you don't know why you're here, if you have questions about who you're serving and why you're serving the way you're serving, then you're going to open the door for a setback. You're going to open the door for a malfunction. So the ones that walk in the day have it better off than those that walk in the night, which is being distinguished as those that know what they're doing and is conscious of what they're doing versus those that don't know what they're doing. You have the propensity to fail when you don't know what you're doing and why you're doing what you're doing. All right? Just want to establish that point, drive that point, because it's very important to know why we do what we do. All right? Let's go to Proverbs 26 and 14.
Proverbs chapter 26, verse 14.
Read that.
Proverbs chapter 26, verse 14. As the door turneth upon his hinges.
So he says, as the door turneth upon the what?
His hinges.
So a door has a hinge so that it can open and close. It can go two ways. So men are examples of a door on a hinge. It's a parable. It's he's given an example, a parallel of men are like doors on hinges. They swing both ways. Read.
It says, so doth a fool, so doth a slothful man upon his bed.
It said, but a slothful man will do what?
Upon his bed.
Roll back and forth on his bed. What is this slothful person having a problem? What is this problem?
Getting up.
Say it again.
Getting up.
Getting up for what?
Day.
Getting up, yes. Getting up to seize the day, take the day, establish himself in the day, propel himself forward in the day, make the day eventful. He says, but a person that's slothful will have trouble taking advantage of the day. Think about what happens when you don't want to get up.
Just roll over to the side.
You're just going to roll over and expect to be effective in the day?
No.
If you lay in the bed all day, you're wasting your time that the day allows you to see what's going on around you to make the best use of your time. You're not making the best use of your time when you just say, man, I just need to, maybe I need 30 more minutes, man.
Well, the statement is, I don't really have plans right now. I don't really have anything to do, so why get up?
Right. So what is the problem? Read it again.
Proverbs chapter 26, verse 14. As the door turneth upon his hinges, so doth the slothful upon his bed.
Read.
The slothful hideth his hand.
He said he does what?
The slothful hideth his hand.
From what?
In his bosom.
He said your hand represents your strength, your power, your workability. He said I hide it in my what?
Bosom.
I keep it to myself. Meaning what? Instead of going to work, putting my hands to work, what am I doing? What is it? What am I doing when I put my hand back in my bosom? Fold my arms. Tuck my hands in. What am I doing?
You resting.
Sleep.
You resting.
I'm resting.
You're being a slacker.
I'm slacking.
Holding back.
I'm holding back. You know what we're finding out is There's enough time in the day to be effective. Christ said, are there not 12 hours in a day? But you know what would be killing us? What kills everybody? One more word.
Slothful.
Slothfulness. Another word for slothfulness.
Laziness.
Laziness. What else? Lack of motivation. You know what be killing us? Our pace. Get the definition of pace. That's what kills everybody. What kills everybody is their own pace. Getting up when I say I want to get up. Move when I want to move. I think I'm gonna sleep a little bit. I'm gonna roll over. I'm gonna turn on like a door on a hand. I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna get in this bed a little bit longer.
I'm gonna turn to the cool side.
To the I'm gonna flip the pillow over.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's true.
I'm gonna get in this bed a little bit. You know, I'm gonna rub my feet together. He said, so what be killing us is pace, man. Get that definition.
The after look,
Get the fourth definition.
the after sleep nap hits. I mean, the after sleep nap hits harder.
Yeah.
Once you get up, take another nap. Hey, it hits harder.
It's even worse, bro. It's worse. You overdid it. Then your whole day slow.
I know.
Get the,
I know.
Get the 1828 definition of pace. Get the fourth definition.
Pace, 1828, No Webster Dictionary. Definition number 4. Step. Graduation.
Gradation.
business.
Gradation.
Oh, excuse me. Gradation in business.
Gradation of business. It's how you handle your business. How you go about handling your business is your pace. This is what kills everybody. Everybody wants to move at their pace.
We got a few synonyms.
What you got?
Tempo,
Tempo. I move it at my tempo. What else?
rate,
I go at my own rate
gait, as you walk,
as a step or walk.
your stride, right? Velocity,
Go ahead.
swiftness,
How fast I do something.
fleetness,
Fleetness means quickly. That's good. I like it.
Or urgency.
Urgency is another one for fleetness.
dispatch.
So he's showing how what's be killing everybody is that the fact that Christ says, man, there's enough time in the day to do what you got to do. And if you take advantage of the day, he says, there's no stumbling. He said, but if you walk in the night, meaning ignorant of what you're doing, and you start doing things at your own pace, he says, then this man stumbles. Now, after the sixth definition of pace, what do you see?
Tomorrow.
Say it again.
Tomorrow.
What do people say?
Tomorrow.
Why do I roll over in the bed?
That's
Tomorrow.
Because I say what to myself?
Tomorrow.
What does that mean?
Tomorrow,
Not
good.
What does that mean?
That's tomorrow's problem.
Not today.
I'm not doing it today.
Put it off.
I don't feel like it today.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it today. So when it's talking about, we talking about a person that's slothful or moving at their own pace, they say what?
Tomorrow.
What else?
And tomorrow.
And what else?
And tomorrow.
What does that mean?
Nothing's going to come.
Tomorrow.
That means what are you doing?
Nada.
What's the killer? Where's the setback at?
It's you.
Is it really that, man, there's no time for me to do anything and get on top of my business? There's no time for me to grow. There's no time for me to actually get involved with the Most High. And I ain't got no time. I'm just so stretched. I'm just stretched so thin. I'm just stretched so thin. I just can't move forward. No, it's not. It's not. Christ said it's 12 hours in a day, man. And if you take advantage of the day, he said there is no stumbling. But when you walk at night, you get ignorant. Meaning you're unsure of what you're doing and you want to go at your pace. Your pace is the killer. Everybody's own pace is their demise. That's everybody's little handicap. Yes, sir. Yeah, go ahead. Yes, he says tomorrow and what else?
And tomorrow.
And tomorrow and what else?
Creeps in.
He said and tomorrow. He said it 3 times. He said these 3 tomorrows creeps in what?
This petty pace.
It says this petty what?
Pace.
So the problem is when our people move at their pace, it is the beginning of their setbacks. It is the beginning of their malfunctions. The problem is pushing our people out of their what? Pace. This is a battle that you're gonna find out that our people have that they don't acknowledge, they don't talk about, or I'm not honest with myself and realize, man, I like to do things at my pace, my level. my swiftness or my speed, my step or my gait, my preference on my time. People that move on their time, they're setting themselves up for a downfall. It's the beginning of the end. And that's why it says in Ecclesiastes, we got it up on the screen. Next, brother, Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 7. And after that, let's get Ephesians chapter 5, verse 14.
Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 7.
Go ahead.
Make no tarry.
It says, don't waste time. Doing what?
To turn to the Most High.
Everybody's supposed to be dedicating themselves to who?
The Most High.
But what do we say is the problem? I'm tired. I'll get back to the Lord when? Tomorrow. I'll serve the Lord tomorrow. I'll go harder tomorrow. I'll put in some real work for the Lord. But right now, I just got this particular engagement that I got that's so important, so critical. And I got these things that are taking priority. And I got to do this first. So I can't really give the Most High what he's asking. Christ said, man, it's 12 hours in a day. You got enough to give the Most High. There's enough time to give the Most High in a day. But what we want to do is put the Most High off till tomorrow. He says, make no tarry, read on.
Make no tarry to turn to the Most High.
It said, well, when it comes to the service of the Lord, that should never wait. Serving the Lord should never be put upon my particular pace. If we go at our pace, we'll say tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. And it'll be we'll keep prolonging what we've been asked to do and what we've been called for. Read.
It says, make no tarry to turn to the Most High, and put not off from day to day.
And don't go from one day you didn't study, one day you didn't pray. I'll pray tomorrow. One day you didn't read, I'll read tomorrow. One day you didn't make no sacrifices to the Lord. You gave the Most High nothing. Christ said it's 12 hours in a day, and the Most High couldn't get a full 1 hour of your time. He couldn't get a 2 hours. He couldn't get 3 hours. But we say, man, you know what? I'm busy. I'll get, when it comes to video games, when it comes to being on the phone, when it comes to TV time, it comes to surfing the web, doom scrolling, when it comes to all these other things, or chasing paper, or trying to establish myself, we got time for these things. But when it comes to actually serving the Lord, man, I'll do it another day. I'll get back right with the Most. I'm get back right with the Lord.
Yep.
And then one day turns to two turns to four.
Yep.
And then after a week, you out the spirit. It don't take long to be out the spirit.
Nah,
It don't take long at all. Yes, sir.
It's crazy because it reminded me of sometimes I tell my reader to do something and she'll say, I'm going to do it right now. But that right now is really like the next day.
So
Yeah.
ahorita.
It's got to be there right now.
Yeah. But our people is known for this, bro. But we like to put off from day to day. Read on.
It says, make no tarry to turn to the Most High, and put not off from day to day.
It says put not off from day to day. Don't be extending and adding days to your service to the Lord. Don't tell the Lord I'll get back with you.
No, I'm good for it.
I'll be back with you. I'll be back strong. I'll be back strong. I'll be back strong. I just gotta handle this business first.
Yeah. I need to come up a little bit, make some paper, catch back up.
Now remember,
I'll be in class.
Remember, pace is gradation of business. It's how you go about your business.
Yeah.
Read on.
It says, and put not off from day to day.
Go ahead.
For suddenly shall the wrath of the Most High come forth, and in thy security.
It said, and that what?
Thy security.
When you didn't think it was important to serve the Lord. When you didn't think that, it was prime time to serve the Lord. Christ said, hey, you got 12 hours in a day you can choose. You can serve the Lord any time of the day you want. Well, you keep putting it off. The Most High said, I'm going to come get you when you least expect it. I'm gonna let something happen when you didn't, it's gonna blindside you. You're not gonna see it coming because you wouldn't put me priority anyway. You wouldn't make me priority anyway. Now you're really in a rut. He said, because the wrath of the Lord shall come upon thee. What?
It says, shall the wrath of the Most High come forth, and in thy security.
And in that, when you think everything is okay by putting the Most High off from day to day, read on.
Thou shalt be destroyed.
The Most High smash you. So you can never say to yourself, I got tomorrow. You can never say, you got to get that out your dictionary, your dialogue, out of your repertoire of words that we like to use. I do it tomorrow. Vocabulary. I'll serve the Lord. I'll pray tomorrow. I'll study tomorrow. You got to get that out your head. You need to study while you got time in the day. There's plenty of time.
And he knows this very well because it didn't say don't put off till tomorrow. He said day to day. So he knows very well what we're going to do. And in your security, it's always said at your house where you're secure. It could be at your job where you're confident.
Yeah.
Who hit you there with a fridge.
Yeah.
Or you're falling off the back of the truck. Or when you're getting out.
Which
or
I've
at
done.
the mall. You might slip some black ice or something.
The dogs might come out of it.
Dogs always come out.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen. You smash your finger. You know, anything go wrong. But the Most High said, I'm going to do something to get your attention.
Yep.
I'm going to have something happen because you've been putting me off too long. The Most High, I haven't been priority. So I'm going to shake your life up a little bit where you got to turn your focus back to Him. Because this is what happens this is how the Most High tethers us back to Him. When we get too distant, we start putting the Most High off. Okay, Most High, I got you. I'm not priority in your life. No problem. I got something for you. I'm going to set something up to get your attention. You know, when you're going to feel it, well, you know that it's because you haven't made me priority. You've been putting me off too long. Then certain conditions happen where you're really tied up. You're really set back. Right? Ephesians chapter 5, verse 14.
Come. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 14 reads, wherefore he said, awake thou that sleepest.
And that's why he says what?
Awake thou that sleepest.
He said you're sleeping too long. What does it mean? You're unconscious. You're not sure what's important. Sleep doesn't mean just actually inundated with dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep just being unaware, unconscious about what you're supposed to be doing.
Yep.
I'm just not sure about what I'm doing. I'm just going through the motions. He said, awake thou that what?
Sleepest.
Go ahead.
And arise from the dead.
He said, you like a dead man. You're not productive. Read on.
And Yahweh shall give thee light.
But who's controlling my sleep?
Yeah.
I control my sleep. He said, but if I wake up, get out of my pace, because my pace is killing me. He says, rise like you're dead. My pace is killing me. How I do things and how I serve the Lord is killing me. He said, if you wake up, get out of your pace, he said, Christ will give you what?
Light.
That light represents purpose. I understand what my purpose is. I understand my purpose. I understand why I got to do what I got to do. I know what I'm called for. I know why I'm chosen. We're going to prove it. Read on.
Come, verse 15. See then that ye walk circumspectly.
And once you understand your purpose, you're going to walk circumspectly, meaning you're going to be cautious and careful on all sides. You're going to be aware of what's going on and what could cause you to fail. You're cautious. You walk with some prudence. Read on.
Not as fools.
Not as what?
Fools.
Read on.
But as wise.
Go ahead.
Redeeming the time.
It says, redeeming the time. See, the Most High is blessing those that make the best use of what?
The
Time.
You get blessed with the Most High when you learn how to make the best use of your time. You know what that means? We want to control our time. We want to control our pace. We want to dictate pace. We don't like people pushing us. We don't like people telling us what to do. We don't like going at the beat of somebody else's drum. We don't like to be motivated and incited. We don't like to be instructed. We don't like to be urged. We like to tell people, I'll get to it. I'll get around to it. I do it when I get ready. But he's saying that the blessing is for those that learn how to make the best use of the time. They says redeeming the time. They know how to make. They know how to set aside time and salvage time. He says redeeming the time. And why is it important that you make the best use of your time? Read on.
Because the days are evil.
He said because the days are what?
Evil.
Go ahead.
Wherefore be ye not unwise.
He says don't be unwise like those that walk in the night. What are those compared to that walk in the night? Read on.
But understanding what the will of the Lord is.
They don't what?
They don't understand.
They don't understand what?
The will of the Lord is.
So somebody that walks at night, they don't know what?
The will of the
The
Lord.
will of the Lord
They
is.
have no idea what the will of the Lord is. Those that walk in the day, they have purpose. They know exactly what they're doing and why they do what they do. They know why they're chosen. They know why they're called. They know why they got this truth. They know why they work the way they work. They know why it's important to pray, why it's important to study. He says, don't be like fools who don't know. He said, but the ones that are wise, they know what? They understand what?
Understanding what the will of the Lord is.
They know exactly what the will of the Lord is. The question is, do you know exactly what the will of the Lord is?
That's a great question. You know, it's crazy because if you knew the will of the Lord, you'd never be bored.
You never waste a day.
Yeah.
If you really know what the will of the Lord is, you would never waste time. If you know what the will of the Lord is, you would never put off from day to day. If you know what the will of the Lord is, you would never say tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow. You would never say that. That would never be in your words. I do it tomorrow. When I get time. You know what he said? Well, you know the will of the Lord is you make time. Because you know what his will is. It's very important that we understand what Christ is saying. The blessing is to those that make the best use of their time because they know exactly what the will of the Lord is. I know what the Most High's desire is for me. I know what his job is for me. I know what his want is for me. I understand why he chose me. And what am I supposed to be doing with my day? In a day. So he said, you know exactly, be not ignorant. He said, but walk in the light and understand exactly what the will of the Lord is. And we ask the question, does everybody know? Well, you have to go to those that it says things written aforetime written for our learning. So we got to go to people that know what the Lord's will is. Let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 5 and 6. 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 5 and 6.
1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 5.
Read that.
1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 5. It says, for there is one power
Go ahead.
and one mediator between the Most High and men.
Read.
The man, Yahushua, who gave himself
It says Christ gave himself for what?
a ransom for all.
So Paul is telling Timothy that Christ gave himself as a ransom. For what?
For all.
So Paul is reminding Timothy of why Christ was crucified. Read.
To be testified in due time.
He says, so that other people could testify of him in what?
In due time.
Read on.
Whereunto I am ordained.
He says, and for this reason, because I understand why Christ was crucified, so that other people could testify of him, which Paul is saying, I understand that I am one of those individuals that was chosen to testify of who?
Yahushua, Christ.
He says, for this reason, I am what?
I am ordained.
In verse 7.
Whereunto I am ordained.
And that's why it says, whereunto. He's saying, for this reason, because I know why Christ was crucified, and he's reminding Timothy of this purpose, of why Christ was crucified. Paul understands his purpose. What is his purpose? Read.
Whereunto I am ordained a preacher.
He says, I have been chosen to be a what?
Preacher.
A preacher. If you don't know what your purpose is, of why you got this truth, you have to take a page out of Paul's writings and understand exactly why the Bible has been introduced to you. The Bible has been introduced to you so you can testify of the sacrifices of Christ. He says, for this reason, I am made a what?
Preacher.
What does that mean? Read on.
And an apostle.
He says, not even just a preacher, but I am a leader. A living example. Read. An elder. Read on.
I speak the truth in Yahushua.
It says, and everything I say out of my mouth is the truth and what?
In Yahushua, and lie not.
It says, and I don't tell lies. So Paul is saying, this is what I'm doing with this truth. Read on.
A teacher of the Gentiles.
He says, I teach the Gentiles, which are people that don't know the God of the Bible, or the nations, either one. He said, I teach the Gentiles. Read.
In faith and verity.
It says, and the topics that I teach in is in what?
Faith
and what?
And verity.
Verity is truth. Go ahead.
I will therefore that men pray everywhere.
He says, and my desire for me doing my job as a teacher, as a leader, as an apostle, as a teacher of faith and truth, my whole purpose of distributing this word is so that people can what?
It says, I will therefore that men pray everywhere.
He said, my job is to make many men believers. My job is to take people that would never pray to the Most High and open their minds to prayer, to see the benefit of prayer. My job is to teach people to give the Most High his due and his glory. I've been chosen. Paul is making it very clear to Timothy what he's been chosen for as a teacher. To make other people believe in the Most High. To make other people pray to the Most High. To make believers out of people. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound something like why we've been given this truth?
Okay.
So we can take these testimonies from Christ's sacrifices, along with what he's done for us in our own life, and make believers out of people? Isn't that what you was chosen for?
Okay.
To teach this word? He's reminding Timothy, hey, listen, this is what it's about. It's about making people believe. That's not what we're doing, though. That's the problem. We don't come here to distribute this word and make people give the Most High's glory. We come here for the wrong reason. Some of us are even ignorant to why we're here. And when you're ignorant to why you're here and what you're doing, there's plenty of room for stumbling. But if you know why you're here and why you've been getting this book and why you take notes and why you pray, if you know these things, then Christ said, then you walk in the day and there is no stumbling. You're not wasting time. There is no setbacks. You aren't tripping about what it is that you're doing here. You're not tossed between loyalties. I'm not tossed between, man, is it about this, I got to get this job, or is it about Christ? It's about this money, or is it about Christ? It's about this relationship, or is it about Christ? There's no tussling. I'm not sure, man. My faith is weak. If you know what you're doing, it's no problem. Read that end part.
God. He says, a teacher of the Gentiles. Also, he says, I will therefore that men pray everywhere.
Go ahead.
Lifting up holy hands.
Go ahead.
Without wrath.
Go ahead.
And doubting.
Look at the effect Paul is saying that he hopes his teaching has on people. I'm trying to convert believers and make believers out of people. Learn this truth. Learn this Bible. And teach it to other people so that they can dedicate themselves to pray to the Father, who is worth all the glory. And he's reminding Timothy that Christ gave him this opportunity. Right? He said it's one mediator, even Christ. Right? Give me Galatians chapter 1, verse 6.
Galatians chapter 1, verse 6. I marvel that ye are so.
1 and 16. Sorry.
Galatians 1 and 16.
Let me put it up here real quick. Go ahead.
Galatians chapter 1, verse 16. To reveal his son in me, that I might preach him among the heathen.
He says, read verse 15.
Verse 15. But when it pleased the Most High,
Paul said, when it pleased the Most High, for what?
who separated me.
He said, the reason why the Most High took me out of the world, he separated me from the pace and the ways and the walk that everybody in the world was walking on, and the path that everybody else was on in the world. He says, the Lord separated me for what?
Who separated me from my mother's womb.
He said, I was born for what?
And called me by his grace.
By his grace, which was provided by the sacrifices of Christ. Read on.
To reveal his son in me.
For me to be an example of his son Christ. Paul understood early what he was called for. He said, man, I've been called for this job as a teacher from the time I was born. I've always been meant to tell people about God. I've always been born. I was born to distribute this word to people, to help and aid people in their life's walk to turn back to the Father. I was born for this. If you think you were born for any other purpose, how well has your life turned out so far in pursuing that other purpose and that alternative lifestyle? What we'll find out is that life is full of setbacks when you don't know what you're doing and why you're doing it. And you're still trying to figure out life. You're going to go through a lot of things that are going to fail you until you figure out and get down to this point that you weren't made to just work a job. You weren't made to just collect money and pay rent and pay bills. You weren't just made to have children. That wasn't your only purpose. You weren't just made to work a 9 to 5. That's not your only purpose. To get food on the table, put a roof over your head. That's not the only purpose of living. Yes, sir.
I remember one time when I told my mom that I was really young, and I still remember it to this day on. I asked her when we was walking inside our apartment over in New York. I said, "Ma, is life all about working, paying bills, and God?" I remember that like it was just I was really.
Because people will work themselves to death.
Yeah.
And have no understanding of why the Most High gave them this grace. I'll work my grace away. And I'll stress myself away. I'll stress my life away trying to figure out what am I supposed to be doing. Some people know. Paul knows. Some people don't know. It's a difference. The outcome is different from those that don't know what they've been chosen for. People tussle with this question of why the hell am I alive? What am I doing here? What is my purpose? They don't know. But Paul is saying, listen, man, I know why I was born. I know why I was put on this earth. I know why I came out of my mother's womb. Read.
Verse 16. To reveal his son in me.
I'm supposed to be a reflection of Christ, and I'm supposed to show people Christ through my example. Read on.
That I might preach him.
It says, and obviously, Paul knows what that means. That he was born to be a what? Preacher. A teacher. A leader. We have to start grabbing that idea and letting that idea turn in our minds. That you weren't just born to work. Hold a job down. Throw some food on your kid's table. That's not all that life is about. Life is about taking people that are hurt that are in pain and lifting them up with the examples of Christ, the testimonies of Christ, showing people how to pray to the Most High. Read on.
That I might preach him among the heathen.
Go ahead. The unbelievers. Read on.
Immediately.
It says, and when that idea, when that understanding came to his mind of why he was born, he says immediately what?
Immediately I conferred not with flesh and blood.
I'm worried about how much time I'm going to lose. I'm worried about how long this is going to take. I'm worried about what I'm going to lose. Or what am I going to get out the deal? What is it going to cost me to be this teacher? How expensive is it? How draining is it? How much time am I going to lose to become this teacher? What is it going to take to become this teacher? Did he let the thoughts or ideas of the stress of becoming this teacher cause him to malfunction and break down? What if I'm not good at it? What if I don't pray enough? What if my prayers are not heard? What if I'm not good at praying? What if I don't know how to pray? What if I don't know what to pray for? What if I can't read? What if I'm not good enough? What if I'm not good enough and I just made too many mistakes in my life? Did he worry about all that? He says immediately he conferred not with what?
Immediately I conferred not with flesh and blood.
He said, not with flesh, the lust of the flesh, and the blood represents the life. So he wasn't concerned with the lust of the flesh and what he thinks the meaning of life is.
It wasn't no hesitation is what he's saying. There was no hesitation. There's no wasting time at this point for Paul. Once he understands what life is about and what his real purpose is, there was no more wasting time. There wasn't even a question about what am I going to be doing from this point on. Immediately, he adopted the notion that I got to teach. I got to preach. That's my job. I got to be a teacher. And I got to be a teacher at all costs. And I got to show people Christ. I got to show people the benefits of Christ and the beauty of Christ, of why he should be imitated and celebrated. There was no hesitation at that point. Same thing he told Titus. Go to Titus chapter 2, read verse 11.
Right. Titus chapter 2 and verse 11. For the grace of the Most High.
It says, so Paul said, man, I know what I did. I know what I'm doing with this grace. I was called by this grace. I was ordained a teacher by this grace. He said, but you know what Paul understands? He wasn't the only one that was given this grace. Guess what? Not only Paul was given the grace, but he knew what to do with it when he got it. He says, but the grace was what?
It says, that bringeth salvation, that have appeared to all men.
He says, every man has been given this what?
Salvation.
This grace, this opportunity for what?
Salvation.
So was it only given to Paul? So guess what? You, at some time in your life, for those that are in earshot of the class, you have been awakened to the opportunity of salvation. The question is, what do you do with it? Do you do what Paul did with it and said immediately, I'm not worried about what I got to lose to become a teacher? Or do you put it off from day to day and said, I'll teach when I get better at this? Or I'll teach when I get more stable over here. Or I'll teach when my money gets better.
Yeah.
Or I'll learn the Bible, once I get stable, get myself situated. What do you do with the grace? Paul said he knows what to do with the grace. He's going to make a transition immediately. Titus, he's telling Titus the same thing. This opportunity has been given to all men. Read on.
God. It says, teaching us that denying ungodliness.
And in the process, that what I'm supposed to be doing is denying what?
Ungodliness.
So Christ gave me opportunity to deny ungodliness, my ungodliness, the things that are ungodly about me. I got to put those things away. I got to reject those things about me that are ungodly. I got to remove them. Read on.
Teaching us that denying ungodliness and worldly lust.
And I have to detach from what?
Worldly lust.
What am I supposed to be doing with this grace? Denying ungodliness and detaching from what?
Worldly lust.
Now, can we honestly say that we've detached from worldly lust? If you're honest with yourself.
No.
Or there's still things that we're chasing that we haven't accomplished or achieved or received. That's more important, that takes priority over us learning to be teachers. He says, we're still chasing worldly lust. He said, but we're supposed to be taking this grace and denying ungodliness and throwing away worldly lust. Read on.
We should live soberly.
And we should live clear-minded. I know exactly why I'm here. The only trouble that people have in the truth is the fact that they're tussling with this idea of what they're supposed to be doing. They're still caught in the middle of the world and serving Christ. This is the only thing that breeds malfunction. I'm not sure about what I should be doing. I'm not sure. I'm still stuck from trying to obtain things in the world and trying to give the Most High's glory and become a teacher. I'm not sure which one I want to do and which one I want to be. This is where the meltdown is at. Read. Oh, what you gonna say?
No, I had a verse.
What you got?
Isaiah 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Cool. Give me Isaiah 8 and 11 real quick. We'll read through 14. Just on that point. Isaiah 8 and 11. Do that real quick.
All right. Isaiah chapter 8 and verse 11 reads, For the Lord spake thus to me with a strong hand.
So when the Most High gives you clarity and He gives you understanding and instruction, you have to pay attention. The Lord instructed with a strong hand, saying what?
And instructed me that I should not walk in the way of his people.
From the very beginning, the Most High always told us you have to be separate from the rest of the nation.
Yep.
Your walk has to be separate. Your thought process has to be separate. Your motivations have to be separate. So in this case, the Most High instructed us, do not walk in the way of this people. He's talking to Isaiah. Read on.
Say ye not a confederacy to all them to whom this people shall say, a confederacy.
Meaning whatever motivations, ideals, perspectives that the rest of the world has, you can't be in agreement. That's what a confederacy means. Yep. You can't have a covenant or a contract or an agreement
Or
be in league with the same perspectives that everybody else has. That's not walking in the perspective of Christ. Because you have to be separate. You can't walk in the same pathway. Read on.
God, neither fear ye their fear.
That also means their fears. That also means their doubts. If the people fear, I don't know if I want to give it up for Christ. Because I'm going to lose this job. I'm going to lose this opportunity. I'm going to lose this comfort. That can't be what you're confederate in. That can't be what you agree with. That's not what Christ said to do. Christ said, don't be the same. Don't walk in the same pathway. Be separate. Paul said, when I accepted to be a preacher, I was no longer flesh and blood. I no longer confirmed with flesh and blood, meaning I no longer agreed with the perspectives of my carnal self, the perspectives of the weaker side of me, that malignity rule. Yep. Keep reading.
Neither fear ye their fear, nor be afraid.
Because your fear is supposed to convert from worldly fear to fear into Christ, to fear in the Most High and His perspective of you. Keep reading.
Verse 13, sanctify the Lord of hosts himself, and let him be your fear, and let him be your dread.
We have to make the Most High our fear, our motivation. I have to fear more of letting Him down than letting my parents down. I have to fear more of letting Him down than letting my friends in the world down, or letting the people I grew up down, and letting their expectations down. Christ, Him approving me or not, has to be the first perspective of my mind. Not what the world thinks about me. Not what the world expects of me. That doesn't matter anymore. If I'm walking separate from the rest of the nations, if I'm walking separate from the people.
I had a conversation today with a guy that said, listen, I raised my kids since they were young, that they have to go to school, get a job, and get stable, and take care of me when I get older.
Mm.
That's all that they focused on in their children.
Exactly.
Is that you got to go get a job, you got to go get educated, you got to make something of yourself,
And give it back to me.
and when I get old, your job is going to be to take care of me,
Yep.
and that's going to be what the example and the expectation of a parent put on a child. Just had this conversation today. That's all that they've groomed their children to do, is to take care of the parent.
Then you're successful in my eyes.
Yeah, then you're a good kid.
Yes, then you're a good kid.
Nothing to do with the Lord.
Nope.
Nothing to do with the Bible.
Nope.
Nothing to do with prayer.
Nope.
Nothing to do with Christ.
Mm-mm.
Your job is just to get stable, get educated, make something of yourself, and take care of me when I get old. That's your whole job.
Mm.
But is that why they were called?
No. You know it's crazy? This is why we stumble so much in Christ. As a nation. We understand, if I'm really in Christ, we read the Bible, we read the Bible. We see the words when Christ said, "Sell everything you have, follow me." We see that. We see those stories like, man, that's intense. That's hardcore. But what he's saying is, read 14 real quick.
And he shall be for a
He
sanctuary.
said, for some people, those scriptures, those testimonies are comforting. That pathway is comforting, is inspirational.
Yep.
But what about others? What are the rest of our people? Read on.
But for a stone of stumbling and for a rock of offense to both the houses of Israel.
He said, but the rest of our people, hearing change and growth and sacrifice is a rock of offense. It's a stumbling stone.
And not let my life be chosen for me to choose what I want to do.
Yes. Why would God tell me what I can and cannot do with my own life?
Yeah.
What type of God is that? I've heard people say it out of their own mouth. What type of God will not let me do what I want to do with my own self?
What about me? What about the things
what
that
I want to do?
what I enjoy in life?
Did he put me on the earth to experience my own life?
Yeah. Pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
What about my happiness?
Your happiness
and-
is that one talent. That's why you hide your hand. Like, I don't want to have these other talents in your realm.
What? Because
They
the
represent
hard part
responsibility.
to accept is my life is not in my hands. Like Chanchuan says, my pace is not in my hands. Not just my pace, the direction and how fast I'm going in that direction is not in my hands. We read about it last week with Mary. Mary had a plan. Mary said, I'm supposed to wait my whole term before I can deal with Joseph. Well, said, no, I'm putting the Holy Spirit in you right now. You're going to get pregnant real soon. That wasn't in Mary's plan. The Holy Spirit was reforming in her direction. You're not doing what you want anymore. Then we went into John the Baptist, who was born with the Holy Spirit. You know what that means? You're born to live a disciplined life. In them woods, eating honey and locusts. And that's your life. And you're going to enjoy that.
And the angels told Sarah, this time next year you're gonna be pregnant. And
she chuckled.
she laughed.
She laughed at it.
Then she lied and said, I didn't laugh. You did laugh. Because we don't be believing what the Most High's plan for us is.
God.
Because it's bothersome to us. But go ahead, it's great.
Read from the top again, 14.
Come on, verse 14. And he shall be for a sanctuary.
The sanctuary is for the people that accept I'm walking in Christ's life. We accept and we embrace the fact that I am walking separate from the rest of the people. I don't share the same fears as the rest of the nations. I don't share the same perspectives or fear of loss as the people around me. That is a sanctuary. That is a comfort for the people walking in light. For people walking in dark who constantly make mistakes, constantly stumble, constantly have doubt, unsure of themselves. What am I doing here? 1 month I'm on top, I love God. The next month, why did I show up? Why did I give it all up? Is this really the right direction? Those people, Christ is what? Keep reading.
But for a stone of stumbling and for a rock of offense to both the houses of Israel, for a gin and for a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
When you got desires and passions that aren't Christ's desires and passions, you're like oil and water with Christ. They're not going to mix. And you're going to be constantly bumping heads, constantly falling short, and now finish it off.
Verse 15. And many among them shall stumble.
Many among them what?
Shall stumble.
This is why many among us are stumbling constantly making the same mistakes, constantly regressing, constantly trying to figure out.
There's no growth.
There's no growth. I've been doing this for X amount of time, and there's no progression forward. Why? Because your desires, passions, and thought process are in alignment with the world and not with Christ. That's why there's a stumbling stone. That's why it's a rock on the fence. That's why you're falling short.
That's why it feels like I'm in a like a rat in a wheel.
Exactly.
I'm moving fast but going nowhere.
Exactly.
I'm just working on a treadmill. I'm just moving quickly. Nothing's happening. No forward progress. The Most High makes sure that my life doesn't progress when I'm not living out what I was chosen for.
Yeah.
That's why it's better to acknowledge what it is that the Most High has planned for me so I can execute that as quickly as possible.
You know, it's crazy. It makes sense when Paul said, make your calling and election sure. Because if you don't know, if you're not doing what the Most High wants you to do, then how do you know if he's happy with you or not?
You don't.
You have no idea. You're still walking in darkness, although you're under the umbrella of the truth. You're under the umbrella of the truth and still not sure if he's happy with your actions until you fall on your face, until dogs attack you, until you get them orange house notes or them not orange house notes. What's it called? Eviction notices. Till the cars break down suddenly. Then you're like, man, maybe the Lord is not happy with me. But if you're constantly doing what the Most High wants you to do, regardless of what goes on, you know you're on the right path. You know you're still walking the path of light. What you got?
Sure also means with certainty and full of confidence.
Exactly. You can be confident. The righteous are bold as a lion. You're only bold when you know what you're doing is right. You know the direction you're going is righteous and it's backed by the Most High. The fear and the doubt comes when you don't know you're in the Most High. That goes back into the spirit of Nimrod. Because when you don't know, now you got to make plans. Now I get my money up. Now I got to start setting these extra defenses. I don't know if the guys can hit me. I don't know how this is going to work now. Now the paranoia sets in. Finish it up and we'll go back to church one point.
Yep.
And many among them shall stumble and fall.
And he said, many among them shall what?
Stumble and fall.
Well, he's showing why our people stumble. Why our people break down and malfunction. The class is called Overcoming Perpetual Malfunction. Why do our people stumble? Why do we break down? Because we're stuck between two loyalties.
Yes.
We're stuck being the teachers, the preachers, the examples, the believers that further the doctrine of Christ versus me chasing what I want in my life and obtaining the things that I set out that brings me joy. We're stuck in the middle. And when you're stuck in the middle, Christ says you walk like in the night. Meaning, and there you will stumble. That's the beginning of the stumble, is when you're unsure.
So we're not stable. We're not standing firm.
No, there's no firmness in what I stand on.
Nope.
And this is where I start to regress and ask myself questions like, why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I working so hard? Well, the question should be, what are you working for?
Exactly.
Who are you working for? And why? Do you ask yourself those same questions? Paul is saying clearly, he identifies immediately his purpose and knows exactly why he got this truth. And he's telling Timothy this, and he's telling Titus this. Now let's go back to Titus chapter 2 and read verse 13 through 15.
Titus chapter 2, verse 13. Looking for that blessed hope.
It says his expectation is in the hope of what? Read.
It says, looking for that blessed hope and the glorying appearing of the great power and our Savior, Yahushua.
He said, my focus is the second coming of Christ. Paul said, that's what I care about. That's where I want to be at. That's where my mind is at. My mind is to be qualified to go and be with the Most High in Christ when Christ reappears. That's his focus. He's not chasing anything in the world. There's no conflict of interest with Paul. He told Timothy this, and he's telling Titus this. Read on.
Who gave himself for us.
He says, I know why Christ died. He gave himself for us for what purpose? Go ahead.
That he might redeem us.
That he might save us. Bring us out of captivity. Read on.
From all iniquity.
From all iniquity. Read on.
And purify.
And clean us up. Read on.
Unto himself a peculiar people.
Christ wants us for himself. He gave me this knowledge so I can clean myself up and be a utensil for him. You wash your dishes, don't you?
Yep.
Or do you eat on dirty plates? Does anybody eat on dirty plates? Does anybody eat with dirty forks? Does anybody find dishes outside on the ground and bring them in their house and use them? Even if you got them donated to you or you go to a flea market, you still going to wash them dishes.
Yeah.
Even if you bought them secondhand. You're going to clean them dishes up before you use them. Christ is looking at us the same way. He's trying to clean us up so he can use us. Paul is saying, I understand this, that Christ is purifying me so he can use me. He can't use me in the state that I'm in when I'm polluted in my sins and my iniquities in the world. When I'm contaminated by the world. He can't use me. So Christ died to clean me up so I can fulfill a purpose and be used, utilized. Read on.
Right. Zealous of good works.
He says, and also for this reason, I am zealous for what?
Good works.
Meaning I'm inspired to do what?
Good works.
I'm excited to do what?
Good works.
And this is why I do all the good works I possibly can. It's not hard to understand, but it's hard to accept. Paul's breaking it down very clearly of why he got the knowledge that he has. But it's hard to swallow if you have an alternative vision in your life. If you have an alternative pursuit. But it's easy to see and accomplish when you know exactly why you got this truth. It's easy, very plain. Read.
These things speak.
He says, what I'm telling you, Titus, I want you to go distribute this same message that I'm giving you. Go tell other people what I'm telling you. Read.
And exhort.
And tell people to be secure in their duties for Christ and motivate them, excite them to do more of what I'm telling you to do because I understand why I'm chosen. The Most High chose me Christ died to clean me up so I can be used for him as an instrument, as a vessel. Go teach this to other people, Titus. Inspire people. What else?
God. And rebuke with all authority.
It says, and also, anybody got something contrary and telling you, no, your life is for you. He said, rebuke them with all authority. Anybody talking anything different from what the Most High has planned for you and why he gave you this truth? He said, you got to check the hell out of them with all authority. Because they're denying you of salvation. So you got to check them. Anybody tell you, man, your life is for you? And how about what you want to do with your life? How about the things you got planned in your life? If anybody coming with that madness that ain't talking about working for Christ, he said, rebuke them with all authority. Check them. They're out of pocket. Because that's not getting you salvation. You're not fulfilling your purpose at that point. Chasing dreams. Being a dream chaser. Read on.
Let no man despise thee.
He said, but that's how people hate you. They'll give you an alternative vision. That's actually hate. That's not love. That's somebody telling you, when somebody tell you, hey, you got to go for yourself. You got to do what you got to go find out what pleases you in life. When you get this kind of word from somebody, that is actual hate. They're not trying to see you in the kingdom with Christ and the Most High. They actually despise you when they tell you go for self. Be an individual. Chase your dreams. Do what you want to do. Become who you want to be. These people actually hate you. If anybody loves you, why wouldn't they want you to have eternal salvation? Why wouldn't they want you to live forever? If they love you, they would. If somebody actually loved you, they would want to see you in the kingdom with the Most High Christ. Christ said, in my house is many mansions. He said, I go prepare a place for you in my Father's house. If it wasn't so, I would have told you. So what he's saying is, there's already addresses, communities, neighborhoods. There's already mansions built in the kingdom. Christ already prepared mansions in the kingdom. Why wouldn't somebody want to see you live eternally in a mansion with Christ and eat at his table? Because somebody that actually don't love you, somebody that actually hates you, would tell you, don't chase after Christ. That's somebody actually despising you. Be free. Go figure out your life, what you want to do first. You got time to come back to Christ whenever you want.
Because your stability makes them uncomfortable.
It makes them uncomfortable.
It'll make them have to change faster.
It makes them question their life choices.
Yeah.
And their intention for living. If somebody actually love you, they want you to be with Christ and the Most High forever. Somebody hate you, they tell you something different. That's why Paul said, man, listen, Titus, tell these people what they've been chosen for, why they've been called, and don't let nobody despise you. Don't let nobody tell you something different. Any other pursuit in life is not getting salvation. So we understand this, right? But what do? Let's go to Proverbs chapter 26, verse 13. What do we do when this understanding has come upon us and has been shown to us and revealed to us why we got this truth? What do?
Proverbs chapter 26, verse 13.
Read that.
It says, the slothful man saith,
We say what?
there's a lion in the way.
There's a what?
There is a lion in the way.
What's keeping me from Christ?
There is a lion in the way.
What's keeping me from teaching?
A lion in the way.
What's keeping me from praying?
A lion in the way.
What's keeping me from cleaning myself up?
A lion in the way.
So what is that? What is this person saying there? It's a what?
Excuse.
It's an excuse. Why don't people live out their purpose in Christ? Why aren't people doing what they were born to do and be teachers?
Making excuses.
They make what?
Excuses.
They got excuses. Our people got excuses for everything. We make up an excuse. We come up with one real fast.
My dog ate my homework.
My dog ate my homework.
Yeah, exactly.
I got home late last night. I couldn't pray.
Wow.
I had to get up in the morning. I couldn't study.
Yep.
You couldn't pray? You couldn't study? You couldn't get them all. Christ said it's 12 hours in a day. Pick one. He said, but when you walk in the day, there's no stumbling. You tripping. You can't give the Most High nothing? Pick an hour. He said, but we say there's a lion in the way. Read on.
He said, there is a lion in the way.
Go ahead.
A lion in the street.
He said, man, it's dangerous out there. I can't go out there.
It's risky.
It's risky, man. It's man eaters in the community.
That's funny.
I heard a whistle. I heard a horn. I seen smoke signals. I'm not going outside. What does it sound like?
Excuse.
It sounds like what?
Excuse.
It sounds like an excuse. So, an excuse for what? Read.
It's in verse 14. As the door turneth upon his hinges, so that the slothful upon his bed.
It's an excuse to do what?
Turn it off.
To sleep in the bed.
So,
It's raining outside.
it's raining outside. Look at the weather.
Yeah.
We make an excuse to go back to sleep, to go back to our pace. We've been chosen to do a job, and it's been made clear exactly why we got this knowledge. Why do we allow any excuses to intervene? Why do we allow any excuses to prevent us from what we've been called to do? Because that means if I go all in like Paul is saying, then that means I can't go at my pace anymore. And what we don't understand about our pace is actually the killer.
Yeah.
Because our pace is what tells us, I'll do it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Like the definition of pace says, tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow. This is the detrimental side of us when we roll at our pace. But when it comes to serving Christ, you got to be moved out of your pace in order to reap the real benefits of serving Christ. Especially when you've been provided salvation. And it's not the first time, the second coming of Christ, that we're going to get salvation. Israel, when you read the Bible, has been salvaged many times. They've been saved from their enemies many times. They've been brought out of danger many times. As a matter of fact, go to Deuteronomy chapter 12, give verse 5.
Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 5.
Matter of fact, before you go there, give me Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 1 through 7.
Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 1. Therefore, thou shalt love the Most High thy power.
It says we're supposed to do what?
Thou shalt love the Most High thy power.
The truth of it is, we have to have a class, and we have to set aside 2 to 3 hours a day, a couple of times a week, for those that may not make the Most High priority, to give them an opportunity to make the Most High priority.
Yeah.
But ask yourself this question: if we were this dedicated in Christ and gung ho for Christ, will we need to have class 4 days a week as a reminder?
Nope.
But the truth of it is, if we didn't set aside time to serve the Most High Christ, we wouldn't voluntarily do it on our own. There has to be a stage and a place set up so that we can serve the Most High. Yes, sir.
Not at this pace.
Not at this pace we would. We would probably do like 30 minutes a day. But we make class about 2 hours, 3
Or
hours.
like 10 minutes paying attention though. Because you're doing dishes, you mess with the kids, you're eating. It ain't gonna be 30 minutes of solid attention.
You're multitasking, is what you said.
Exactly.
So it's not a full.
No, it's
30
not a full
minutes.
30 minutes out.
Yes, sir.
But not only that, we would minimize it, and we would be like, that's not against brothers that do it, but I'm only going to show up only on Sabbath. We would make it very, very minute. And our life would be like 90% us, 10% the most.
I'll pick what day I want to go to class. I'll pick what day I want to pay attention. Yes, sir.
It's kind of like church.
Yeah.
Going once out of the whole week.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it too a couple weeks ago. The value of having his homework assignment.
Mm-hmm.
We would not be doing it every single day.
It'll make you read it every day.
Especially if it's late night.
Yep.
But the fact that you know you got an inspection in the morning.
Yep.
But you know what? I gotta stay up and get it done. But if it was on my own time.
If it was on your own time, would you really do it?
Yeah. If we didn't have inspection,
I
like you said.
If we didn't have inspection in the morning,
Brothers
would brothers really
prepared.
show up?
Be prepared.
Let's take a Sunday for example. When it's not said, hey, be here at this time, but we know we got to work.
It's in the air. It's in the air. It's like, well, as long as you know time, then I'm supposed to be in the bed.
Hey, I'll get there. Where's everybody at? I'll meet y'all over there. Can I meet y'all over there? Where's everybody at? Am I really trying to rush to the school?
No.
Man, come on, bro. The truth of it is, if we were so gung ho, we wouldn't have to have a 2 or 3 hour class 4 days a week. It wouldn't have to be set aside that way. We would do it on our own.
Yeah.
But the Most High knows that that's not where we are.
It's not in it, so.
It's not in us yet. We're not that gung ho. We're not that committed yet. So he said, what? We're in Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 1 through 7. What we're showing here is the Most High has saved us many times. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 1. Therefore, thou shalt love the Most High thy power, and keep his charge,
And keep his responsibility. Read.
and his statutes,
And his what?
and his statutes,
His laws, his commandments. Read on. His rules. Read.
and his judgments,
And his punishments for not following those rules. Read on.
and his commandments,
Go ahead.
always. And know ye this day, for I speak not with your children.
He said, listen, he's telling these particular children, he said, I'm not talking to a second generation. He said, I'm not talking to a third generation. He says, I'm talking to the same generation that I saved out of hell.
Yep.
That I pulled out of a bad situation. That I pulled out of slavery. He said, I'm not talking to your grandchildren. I'm not talking to your great-great-grandchildren. He said, I'm talking to you. Read on.
And know ye this day, for I speak not with your children which have not known, and which have not seen the chastisement of the Most High your power.
He said, your children don't know no better. They haven't had a relationship with me.
Yep.
He said, I'm speaking to those that have had a relationship with me. They know the temperament of the Most High. They know the wrath of the Most High. They've experienced life enough to know when the Most High is angry with you, what he'll do with you when he's angry with you. They'll also know the side where the Most High is merciful, where when you should have been down and out, the Most High pulled you from it. These are people that have experience with the Lord. And he's talking to those that have lived, that have known both sides of what it means to walk in the day and also to walk in the night. Read.
And which have not seen the chastisement of the Most High your power.
Go
His
ahead.
greatness, his mighty hand, and his stretched out arm.
We've seen when the Most High came through for us when nobody else would. We've seen the mercy of the Lord. Read on.
And his miracles.
And we've seen his what?
And his miracles.
That's a life. If you're honest, if you've been in this truth long enough, you will have many miracles that you can proclaim. You will have a multitude of miracles added to your testimony on a regular basis. It's so many things that the Most High does when you decide to make him a full commitment that you can't even recall.
Yep.
I said I'm going to do it. I still haven't done it. I said I was going to write a book about all the things that the Most High has. It's really just, it would have to be like 20, I have to dig my mind back 20 years of all the things that the Most High did from, I remember I was out of money. I was out of gas. And I got a page, you know it's old. a brother in the truth, I had just came in the truth first year. A brother paged me. There was no cell phones at this time, people. This is like 99, 98, pages was $10 a month. Cell phones was brick and expensive. So a brother paged me, and I was out of gas, and I had to walk along the side of the highway to go to a payphone because he paged me, and I had to go find a payphone. And back then the order was, if a brother paid you, you got like 10 minutes to go to the payphone and call back. So I was walking on the side of the highway, and I rode up into an apartment complex. And I went by the swimming pool of the apartment complex, and I saw a payphone. And I called the brother back. He gave me the instructions, and I walked back to my car. I was out of gas. He didn't know I was out of gas. And I walked back on the side of the highway, and with all the cars rolling by, we ever been on the side of the highway stranded, and cars are flying by, and all the wind is blowing from every single truck and every single car?
Yeah.
Well, on the way back to the car, folded up, even with all the wind blowing, was $5 $20 bills that was stuck together. It was folded in half. And all the wind was blowing, but they wouldn't move. They were just stuck. And I looked down, I couldn't even believe what I was seeing. That's $100.
Looking around.
Almost out of the highway. It's $100, but it ain't blowing. It just stuck right there on the side of the street, on the side of the highway. I said, man, it's got to be the blessing. It's got to be the Lord right here. Because, first of all, look at all this wind blowing. Cars are rolling by. And that $100, $520 just sitting there, stuck together. I said, I couldn't believe it. I got in the car. I had no, it's a car that I had when I was in high school. And my little brother got it when he was in high school. And he wrecked it. I had no windows on the right side. So the right side was crushed. I had to get in like Dukes of Hazzard. I had to climb through the window. I climbed through the window. I went to the gas station. Then a storm came, and then the storm. I was soaking wet in the car,
in the whip out,
with all the rain blowing in the car. But I was $100 up,
and you weren't stranded no more.
And I wasn't stranded no more.
Oh, yeah.
So the blessings come with the situations. But that's just one situation of many. I've seen brothers house, it's a true story. Another situation. Brothers are in a car. The brother's house that the first brother, no, this wasn't the first brother's house. This was the second brother's house that we had here in San Antonio. And it was 4 brothers getting off the mall. And the car cut off right when they got to the gas station. They ran out of gas. Mm-hmm. And the car cut off and they just rolled to the gas. First of all, the timing is impeccable.
Okay.
You can't even match that timing.
Yep.
The car cut off, they rolled right to the gas station. And the brother opened the door, and there was an envelope with $700 right there on the side of the gas station.
Wow.
True story.
Wow.
True story. Open the door. First of all, your car cut off right at the gas station. Just enough where you can roll to the pump. You open the door, and there's an envelope with $700 on the ground. Man, you can't make this up.
No.
This cannot be made up. There's so many stories that you can't even begin to recall the miracles of the Most High when you serve the Lord. It's too many. It's too many of them. But read on.
God. Verse 2. And know ye this day, for I speak not with your children which have not known, and which have not seen the chastisement of the Most High your power, his greatness, his mighty hand, and his stretched out arm, and his miracles, and his acts, which he did in the midst of Egypt, unto the Pharaoh, the king of Egypt,
Read on.
and unto all his land. And what he did unto the army of Egypt, unto their horses, and to their chariots, how he made the water of the Red Sea to overflow them as they pursued after you, and how the Most High hath destroyed them unto this day. And what he did unto you in the wilderness, until ye came into this place, and what he did unto Dathan, and Abiram, and the sons of Eliab, and the sons of Reuben, how the earth opened her mouth, and swallowed them up, and their households, and their tents, and all the substance that was in their possession in the midst of all Israel.
Read on.
But your eyes have seen all the great acts of the Most High.
When you follow after the Most High's pace, you will be rich in witnessing all the acts of the Lord. That's one thing that you will be rich in. You will be rich in testimonies. Because the Most High will show you so much when you decide to give in and go at his pace. But even at this time that the Most High is explaining, Moses is explaining, look at all what the Most High has done for you. You have a testimony to give. You have something to teach. You've seen miracles. You've seen wonders. You've seen miraculous acts. You've seen destruction. You've seen patience. You've seen mercy. It's not like you don't know. When you actually serve the Most High, he gives you so many different dynamics of experiences where you can offer to somebody else to explain why they should serve the Lord too. And why there shouldn't be any fear. Finish that?
But your eyes have seen all the great acts of the Most High which he did. What was that?
He said, no, I want
12.
I want Deuteronomy chapter 12, because with all these different experiences that the Lord takes us through, there is an expectation. You don't get rich in all these experiences and these miracles and you just keep it to yourself. No, that's not the way it's supposed to be. The Most High has taken us through different roller coasters in life, but it's for the purpose of exhorting other people, making believers out of people, initiating and activating the faith of other people. Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 5.
Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 5. But unto the place which the Most High your power shall choose out of all your tribes to put his name there.
He said, listen, the Most High said, I did all this to bring you into a land so you can get to this land that flows with milk and honey. And do what?
To put his name there.
I want you to put my name there. Read on.
Even unto his habitation.
It says, even unto what?
His habitation.
He says, I took you through all the wilderness. I allowed you to escape out of Egypt, out of slavery. I destroyed the Egyptians in the Red Sea. I fed you manna in the wilderness. You drank sweet water out of bitter water. I showed you miracles. I destroyed the gainsayers and people that was against you. You seen serpents sting you, bite you, kill some of you. And then you watch Moses erect a brass serpent and get healed from the sting. You watched all these things happen. And he says, the only thing that I'm asking from you is that you make me your what? What's the word he used?
Even unto his habitation.
He says, you make me your what?
Habitation.
What does that mean? A habitation?
Safe place.
Safe haven. It's a safe haven, a dwelling place. You said it earlier, priority.
Resting place. Somewhere where you can put your reliance and your confidence.
And Isaiah, you read it earlier in chapter 8.
Sanctuary.
A sanctuary. A safe place. All the experiences and all the things the Most High take you through is all the Most High is asking in return is, that you learn to dwell with him. Put your ultimate trust in him. That's the only thing he's asking for. Yes, sir.
Yeah, the habitation is a place where it's a place where you trust. It's security.
It's a place of security. That's all the Most High is asking for. When you get to where you're going, look at all these experiences that you witnessed. You had a sun that a star in the sky at night, a pillar of fire at night that glowed so you weren't in complete darkness. You had a night light going with you. You had a cloud covering the sun to give you shade by day. You weren't completely burnt up. Your clothes never got old. Your shoes never wore out. Your clothes never got old. You ate angels' food.
I also said it gave them cleanness of teeth.
And they gave him cleanness of teeth.
That's not
I mean, it wasn't no
gum
decay,
disease, though.
no gum disease. I mean, no tooth fallouts.
No root canals.
Yeah, but none of these things. He said, but the only thing I'm asking from you in return is you consider me your safe place. You consider me the place where you go for comfort, that you resort to for safety and for nurture. That's all that's all the Most I say. Listen, I got an expectation after doing all these things for you. Read.
Even unto his habitation shall ye seek.
Say you supposed to seek his habitation. So after all that the Most High does for us, he's only asking that we seek after him, to have a relationship with him. You can't even count the miracles that the Most High has done for each and every one of us.
And there's large miracles, like those are pretty big miracles, or there's small miracles, like if you find yourself weary and well doing, you find yourself tired of doing the good works, and you're questioning your love, somebody's going to give you a testimony of their eyewitness account of you showing love, and then that'll bring you hope again, and that'll reassure you, you know what, I do love the brothers, I do love the sisters, I do love the Lord, I do love doing what I'm doing day to day.
Another miracle is the addictions you got over, and which you never thought you'd get over.
Yep.
The Most High giving you the spirit, the motivation, the drive to change a habit that you've ingrained in yourself for decades.
Or the abusive relationships you was in.
Yeah.
Verbally abusive.
Yeah.
Physically abusive.
Yeah.
Just abusive, period. And the Most High provide you with somebody that actually care about you.
Come.
And you didn't think you was ever gonna get out of that situation. There's a lot of things that we can be thankful for. He said, but out of all the things that the Most High does, dead end jobs that we had, it wasn't going nowhere.
Yep.
It was on a dead end job.
Yep.
We was gonna be wiping floors, wiping butts. We was gonna be doing whatever menial, low level jobs, low budget jobs that there is out there in the world, and that there was no hope for anything greater, nothing better. Not saying that that's a bad thing. That is not a bad thing. But there was no joy in what we knew we were unfulfilled in these positions.
Exactly.
And that there had to be more in life. And the Most High opened up a window of opportunity to come our way and open up more opportunities to do something else that actually we can find peace in. There's all kind of things the Most High does for us. He says, the only thing I ask in return is that you seek after me. Read on.
Even unto his habitation shall ye seek.
Go ahead.
And thither thou shalt come.
It says, and come to me. That's the only thing the Most High is asking for. Why don't you look after me? Why don't you come to see if you can make a relationship with me? Can we at least get on that level where me and you have a relationship? Can you count all the miracles? Can you look at all the times I saved you out of trouble? How many doors I opened that was closed? The only thing the Most High is asking for, hey, let's get some compatibility here. Let's get on the same level. Let's get on the same page, please. Can you count all the acts? Can you see how I have intervened in your life? Is that worth anything to you? Let's have a relationship. It's the only thing the Most High is asking for. Seek after me. Read.
Verse 6. And thither ye shall bring your burnt offering.
He said, then once you come after me, he says, bring your burnt offerings. Does anybody know what the burnt offering represent or a whole burnt offering represent? Anybody remember? I know it's been a while since we went over anything regarding sacrifices. Does anybody remember or recall what the whole burnt offering represents? Anybody?
You know, like the inward part?
No, not. It's after a sin offering. First, when you come to the Most High in the sanctuary, you make a sin offering. You make an offering for your sin.
Yeah.
And then some people offer another offering. It's a whole burnt offering, which comes after the sin offering.
Okay.
The whole burnt offering is when you take the whole animal and you burn the whole animal minus the skin.
Okay.
Why do you burn the whole animal after you make the sin offering? The whole burnt offering represents a peace offering and also symbolizes something else. It symbolizes a full commitment.
Okay.
After you made that sin offering and asked the Most High to forgive you for your sins, then you backdoor that with a whole burnt offering, which is a peace offering, telling the Most High, hey man, you got all of me. It's a sign of commitment to the Lord. It's a gesture of a full commitment that I'm not taking anything back. I'm all in with you. It's what the whole burnt offering symbolizes. It is voluntary, but voluntary is a free will offering. It's an offering, that's a separate offering that's besides a tithe. It's a voluntary, free will offering. But that whole burnt offering is an offering where you want to establish peace between you and the Most High. And that symbolizes you burning that whole animal, is you saying to the Lord, you got all of me. Not some of me. Not a part of me. You got all of me when you put that whole animal on the altar to burn it completely. There's nothing I want back from it. Because even on a sin offering, the priests still eat the sin offering. There's still some use out of that. Not on a whole burnt offering. There's nobody's using that. That's all for the Most High. I'm all into the Most High. So he's saying that you make me your focus, your habitation, your safety, your safe dwelling place, and then sacrifice and show me that you love me through your sacrifices, through your offerings. That's how you can show me that you love me. Read on.
And thither you shall bring your burnt offerings and your sacrifices and your tithes and heave offerings of your hand.
A heave offering is, or a sheaf offering is just an offering of grain. It's just an offering of grain. It could be barley. It could be corn. It could be wheat. It's just a grain offering. There's different offerings that you can offer the Most High. After you've done your sin offering and asked the Most High for forgiveness, then you start doing things to show the Most High, hey, I'm with you. I'm going to start making these sacrifices because I'm committed to you. Those are the different offerings that he's explaining, or different ways that you show the Most High that you actually want to be on the same page with him and that you love him. Read on.
And heave offerings of your hand and your vows.
And your vows. They promises that you told the Most High that you're going to do. Lord, when he saved you out of trouble, when he blessed your health, when you know your health was bad, or your family's health was bad, and miraculously they recovered, and you made the Most High a promise. Lord, thank you for doing this. I'm going to do this for you in return. Thank you for opening up this door. I'm gonna make this vow and make this promise. This is where you reconnect with the Most High at. Read on.
And your free will offering.
And that free will offering is a voluntary offering above a tithe offering. It's just extra. Classified as alms. It's extra. Read on.
And the firstlings of your herds.
And I'm going to give the Most High the best of what I have to offer. The best of me. That's the only thing the Most High would like to see in return. If you really want to reconnect with the Father, in exchange for all the things that he does for us. Read on.
And of your flocks.
Read.
And there you shall eat before the Most High your power.
He said, and then you're Do your sacrifices, make a relationship, restore the relationship, rekindle the relationship, and then eat with the Most High. Read on.
And ye shall rejoice in all that he put your hand unto.
And then you rejoice and be thankful for everything the Most High blessed you with. Once your relationship is right with the Father, now you come back and be thankful. Man, I'm thankful for this, and I'm happy for this. I'm happy for this opportunity. Now me and the Most High we're at one again. We're on the same page again. We're back together again like it should be. Read on.
Ye and your household.
And it says me and my what?
Household.
Me and my household is back right with the Father. Read on.
Wherein the Most High thy power hath blessed thee.
It says, then I can rejoice in all my blessings once my relationship was right with him.
Done.
Read on.
Ye shall not do after all the things that we do here this day. Every man whatsoever is right in his own eyes.
Stop. The only problem with the Most High has is that you can't take the reins and the harness of control like you want. And this is what gets everybody tripped up. Everybody wants to pick and choose their pace. And that's something that the Most High is saying, that I cannot let you have total control over. Is your pace. Because that's what everybody wants. They want to serve the Lord on their time. And give to him how and where they make their sacrifice. I want to choose where and how I give my sacrifice. At this time in the book, we're reading about the Most High saying, listen, I'm going to choose the place where you're going to sacrifice. Because if it was left up to us, and each and every one of our control, we would say our prayers to the Lord every once in a while. We would maybe open the book every once in a while, play peekaboo with the Bible every once in a while. Read on.
For ye are not as yet come to the rest.
Stop. But where will we do it at?
For ye
Where?
are not
Yeah.
as yet come to the rest.
Where do you rest at?
In your bed?
Stop. Where do you rest at? Your house.
Yeah.
We would serve the Lord. If the Most High didn't pick and choose the place where he had the sacrifices had to be made and what's required, we would create our own high place. Your house would become your sanctuary. Your house would become your place of worship. Your house would become your church. And it wouldn't go no further than your house. Your spirituality would stop at your house. You wouldn't remove yourself from your dwelling place if it was in your control. That's why the Most High said, that's something that I am not going to completely give up to y'all. Because if I let y'all choose how and where and when to serve me, you would do it in your comfort. I can't have that. Your house would be the damn sanctuary. Everything would revolve around your house. All spiritual conversation, all spirituality, all sacrifices, all free will offerings, all whole burnt offerings, everything's got to do with your house. And that's all you would rotate around, and that's all that you would be committed to is just your house. Anybody ever been guilty of that? Yeah, I have. And the most I tear it down. That's the beauty of it. It happened to me. When you make your house that habitation, that sanctuary, that safe dwelling place, and you make your house the center of the focus of spirituality, and that's all you're not going past your house. Yeah, the most I tear it down. The most I said, because you know what? You're going to serve me at your pace, and that's not what I'm going to let you do. I'm not going to give that to you. You got to go to a place that I choose, that I set up, that I designate. Because if he left it up to each and every one of us, we would set the terms and the conditions and the rate of our spirituality based upon our comfort, based on what's comfortable to us. And that's why it says, hey man, this ain't your rest. I got to get you up out that house. Because everybody else think, I can get church from the house. I can read at my house. I can study at my house. I can sacrifice for the brothers at my house. No, you can't.
And
Unless it is a brother's house.
And that's when the slothful person will move fast. I'm gonna hurry up, get this done quick, and then I did my thing with the Lord, quick, fast, in a hurry. I'm good.
Yeah.
That's when the slothful man
Go back to the house.
Yeah. So everything is done, so I can get back where?
To the house.
I can get back to the house, man.
Gotta get to the crib.
I got to get to the crib, man.
Got things to do.
I got things to
Can't get you a ride. Ain't no time.
and this is what the Most High is talking about in verse 8. And this is something that he makes sure that he doesn't always let us have, is the power to dictate pace, where everything revolves around our own homes. Because we'll never serve the Lord past that. We'll erect our own damn temple. All Passover is going to be done in my house.
Mm-hmm.
All Feast of Unleavened Bread is going to be done in my house. All Feast of Tabernacles is going to be done in my house. All Memorial Blowing of the Trumpet is going to be done in my house. All Feast of First Fruits is going to be done in my house. All Purim is going to be done in my house. All Hanukkahs are going to be done in my house. Everything is going to be done in my house. That's not how the Most High set this up. Because now you're trying to dictate. You're doing this because you're comfortable. Because you're trying to establish your place of rest where you're comfortable at. The Most High makes sure. That's why he's like, listen, man, I'm gonna let y'all sacrifice to me, but I'm gonna choose the location and the place. Because you're gonna set it up, and it's gonna be all involved around your house.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be at your house.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
That's why like 3 times a year we have to.
That's why he said all males shall appear before the Lord. Because you know what? You know what the Most High is doing? Hey, get up out your house. Give me this right here. And when he says, every man will do that, he says, you shall not do after all the things that ye do here this day. Go ahead. Every man whatsoever is right in his own eyes. So when he's saying that the Most High has a problem with us, he has a problem with us picking and choosing how we want to serve him and where. The location, the place, and what we're offering. Where it's built around our comfort. That's why it said verse 9. Read verse 9.
Verse 9. For ye are not as yet come to the rest.
He said, this ain't your rest, buddy. You're not at ease yet. He was telling the Israelites back then that he just pulled out of Egypt. Don't get too comfortable here.
Not a rest.
Micah chapter 2 said, hey, this is not your rest.
Okay.
Come out of her, my people. She's polluted. This is polluted. This place is polluted. Don't get too comfortable at your house. That's what we want to do. We want to make home church. So we ain't got to go that far. So we don't got to be inconvenienced.
Yep.
You be like Ray Charles.
Yeah.
Knocking on the door. I'm at church, man.
When he played the piano.
Yeah.
Read verse 9.
For ye are not as yet come to the rest, and to the inheritance, which the Most High your power giveth you.
He said, with the Most High your power giveth you. Read on.
But when ye go over Jordan, and dwell in the land which the Most High your power giveth you to inherit.
He says, I'm going to give you the land. Go ahead.
And when he giveth you rest from all your enemies round
So
about.
have we got rest from all our enemies right now?
Uh,
So should we make church our home?
Nope.
Or our home our church?
Nope.
No, man. There's a school. There's a place of worship set up and established for each and every one of us to go to that is known amongst us and our camp. This is where the school is at. And it took us years to get a school. The first school took a long time. The second school took a long time. The third school took a while. And we're working on one now. Get out of this little bitty school. But you know what it's going to be based off of? Not everybody's personal comforts.
Yep.
It can't be. Go to Luke chapter 2. Hold that. Go to Luke chapter 2. And give me verse 41 and 42.
9. Luke chapter 2.
Verse 41.
Go
Now
ahead.
his parents went to Jerusalem every year.
Now look at the parents, the mother and father, Joseph and Mary, the mother and parents of Christ. He says they got up and did what?
Went to Jerusalem every year.
Did they stay at home every year for Passover?
Nah.
Where did they go for Passover?
Jerusalem.
They went to Jerusalem what?
Every year.
They had to get up out of their comforts and go to Jerusalem every year. This is the parents of Christ. Read on.
At the feast of the Passover.
Go ahead.
And when he was 12 years old,
Go ahead. Now,
they
stop,
went
stop.
up to Jerusalem.
Stop. That's enough. I just want to get the point. But no, keep going, because I want to explain something right here. Keep going.
And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast.
It says it was a custom to make Jerusalem the center and the focus of sacrifices, and where the celebrations of all things holy are done at. Read on.
And when they had fulfilled the days, as they returned, the child Yahushua tarried behind in Jerusalem, and Joseph and his mother knew not of it.
Go ahead.
But they, supposing him to have been in the company, went a day's journey.
He said, how close was Jerusalem?
A day's journey.
He said, so they had already walked a whole day. So was there any excuse why you couldn't get to Jerusalem? Even if you had to walk a whole day. We could barely walk down the street. We barely want to check the mail. We barely want to go to the edge of the driveway and check the mailbox. But he said, what happens if you got to serve the Lord and the Most High requires you to show up, but you got to walk a whole day? It's showing you how that was the custom. So you couldn't make excuses to say, man, well, I'm just gonna make Passover at my house, because man, I don't feel like walking a whole day's journey. What is the Most High doing? Even in the time of Christ, when he was young, the Most High didn't hear that. I'm gonna make the sanctuary my house. Man, you gotta get up, even if you gotta walk, you gotta go.
When we invite, men or people to class, they come to class, they're looking for some spirituality. They're like, oh, well, I don't got a babysitter. We have a kid's room, or we
I don't gotta ride.
Yeah,
I'll pick you up.
We'll pick you up. There's no excuse.
Or my car won't make it. But I go to work every day. But I say my car won't make it. I make it. Yeah, I'm on time at work. But I'd say when it comes to serve the Lord, my car may not make it. Back then, they didn't even have cars. He said they went a full day's journey. Obviously, they wasn't in cars. We 20, 30 minutes from the school, and we still say it's too far. 45 minutes, back then, they would go a day's journey to serve the Lord. We barely want to drive 20, 30 minutes, 45 minutes to serve the Lord. We make all kind of excuses. We got cars that can go 100 miles an hour. And we still don't commit to that same degree.
Don't drive that fast.
We're not saying do, but we're just saying it just shows you how technology has evolved, transportation has evolved. They're doing a full day's journey to serve the Lord. Like it ain't nothing. And that was the custom. We don't want to be inconvenienced, is the whole point. Because we like to dictate pace. Let that go and go back. No, read this. I want you to read this for me. It says, follow page 540 in the next place.
Gone. Follow page 540, census 68. In the next place, he does not permit those who desire to perform sacrifices.
It says the Most High, Philo said that the Most High does not let those that perform sacrifices. Go ahead.
In their own houses.
It said the Most High does not let you perform sacrifices where?
In their own houses.
Go ahead.
To do so.
Why?
But he orders all men to rise up.
He said he orders all men to rise up. Go ahead.
Even from the furthest boundaries of the earth.
He said it don't matter how far you are from furthest boundary of the earth. Get up. Go ahead.
and to come to his temple.
And to come to his temple. We just read Christ's parents went on a day's journey to Jerusalem for the Passover. We read in Deuteronomy chapter 12, this is when the Most High first established that law. I'm going to choose where the school is going to be at. I'm going to choose where the sanctuary is going to be at. I'm going to choose where the place of worship is going to be at. Read on.
By which command he adds at the same time testing their disposition.
He says, Philo said he classified the Most High not giving us freedom to decide where the location of the servitude of the Lord is going to be. He classified it as a what?
Testing their disposition.
As a what?
Testing their disposition.
As a test of the way you think. How do you look at the Lord? Do you look at the Lord like an inconvenience? Is he too far to go pray to? Is he too far? Is it too much of an inconvenience to sacrifice at this location, at this distance, at this time? He calls it a test of the mind frame. Testing their inward thinking. The disposition is the state of mind. Read.
Testing their dispositions most severely.
He said, because how much do you want to serve and sacrifice for the Lord? Are you willing to get up out of your house, go to another location, and sacrifice to the Lord when it doesn't convenience you? When it inconveniences you. Read.
For he who is not about to offer sacrifice.
He said one thing Follow is saying is, if it's a problem for you to go the distance to serve the Lord, you really didn't want to do it anyway. This is what he understands. He said that you're going to make up so many excuses because of the distance, the location, because it's not situated around your dwelling place. It's not comfortable or convenient for you. He says you really didn't want to do it anyway. The Most High can see that you didn't really want to do it because it was besides your comfort zone. It was out of your comfort zone. Read.
For he who is not about to offer sacrifice in the pure and holy spirit,
go ahead,
would never endure to quit his country.
He says to leave his country. Go ahead.
And his friends.
You didn't want to leave. You weren't going to be in the right spirit because you didn't want to leave your country, which is what you're familiar with, your friends, which is the people that you know. Read on.
And relations.
And the people that you're tied to, whether that's husband and wife, or children and family, uncles and cousins. You didn't want to just inconvenience yourself. Go ahead.
And immigrate into a distant land.
And you weren't going to immigrate to a distant land. Why? Read on.
But would be likely being under the influence.
It says, but the real problem of why you wouldn't want to go outside of your comfort zone to go serve the Most High in another place is because what?
Being under the influence of a more powerful attraction.
It says there's something that's more important than the Lord. He's showing how you can tell when somebody really doesn't want to serve the Lord because they're too fixated and something else has taken their focus and is more important than the Lord. They make excuse for the location. Class is too far away. The time is too uncomfortable. It's not convenient for me. He's saying all you're doing is just showing that you weren't going to be in the right spirit anyway, and you really didn't want to go anyway.
Exactly.
For all them excuses. And you were too attracted to your family and the people you're familiar with and the bonds you already have created. You're not interested in making new bonds. You're not interested in making new friends. You're not interested in making new brothers and making new sisters. You're not into entertaining other guests and strangers and making strangers into brothers and friends. You're too comfortable. And this is why the Most High said in Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 8, I can't give you all the power to do what you want to do. Because the Most High said, I already know what you would do with it. You wouldn't build it around your comfort. You would build it around your rest. You wouldn't go outside yourself. Is this true?
It says being under the influence of a more powerful attraction than that towards piety.
He says that actually piety is reverence to the Lord. That's what piety is. It's fear of the Lord. It's reverence or respect of the Most High. So when you really care about respecting the Lord, it doesn't matter the location. It doesn't matter the time. When you really when you have a reverence or real respect or fear of the Lord, it doesn't matter the place. It doesn't matter the day of the week. It doesn't matter when it's convenient to you. It doesn't matter when it's comfortable to you. All that is irrelevant. Because your fear of the Lord is not based upon your comfort. And this is why the Most High said in Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 8, ye shall not do after all the things that we do here this day, every man whatsoever is right in his own eyes. I can't let you control the pace.
Yep.
Because you'll never show up. You'll make a bunch of excuses. It's a lion outside the street. It's raining outside. My car won't make it. I don't have enough gas. All the Most High knows is you're going to create and fabricate a reason why he can't be important. Why the Most High cannot be priority. We'll create a reason. I'm too busy. I got too much going on. Hey, man, my work schedule not letting me. My boss is making me do overtime. I got all these different excuses of why I can't serve the Lord. The Most High know it too. Historians know it. This Jew is a historian also, and he knows it through history that he understands why the Most High can't give us all the power and control, because we'll dictate pace and we'll never show up. We'll never show up and we'll never come in the right spirit. And there is always something else that will take priority over serving the Lord. Read on.
To continue attached to the society.
He says, and I'll continue to be what?
Attached to the society.
I'll continue to be attached to the society or the people that I socialize with, that I'm familiar with, that I classify as family and friends. I'm too attached to them rather than entertain others and open the door for new friendships, new brotherhoods, new sisterhoods. I don't know what the Most High has given me by giving me other sisters and other brothers. You know why? Because I don't know them, and neither do I want to know them. That's why I don't talk to them. Because that's not important to me. Not realizing that the Most High is bringing other people in your life as a blessing to you. But all you see is the inconvenience. I don't feel comfortable. Read.
Says to continue attached to the society of his most intimate friends.
I only want to congregate with, maybe open the Bible with, or maybe talk about God with the people that I'm comfortable with. This is why the Most High does not give us total control. This is why the Most High does not give us the ability to dictate our own pace. Because we'll wrap everything around our comfort and our pillow and our bed and our address in our house. And that's it. I'm not really going outside myself. I'm not really opening the door to me. I don't want no new friends. No new friends like Drake. I don't want no new friends. I take that to heart. I don't need to know other people.
Yeah.
That's what we say. But the Most High knew what he was doing when he said, nah, I'll choose where Passover's going to be at.
Or you want to be like Jafar in Aladdin when he turns into a genie and he says he wants the power to control and a little bitty tiny space, his home. His new home.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's all we want. We want that power to control that little area. Because our attachments are illicit. Read on.
It says intimate friends and relations as portions of himself.
As what?
As portions of himself.
These are extensions of me. Not other believers in Christ. Not other people that actually have a fear of the Lord. I don't have a connection with those people. Neither am I trying to. I only want to connect, talk to, socialize with, have friendships with, have bonds with those that I'm comfortable with in my own little circle. This is why the Most High got to shake people's life up. This is why life has to be shaken up. Because we'll never go outside ourselves. When the whole reason the Most High is putting people around us, he's introducing us to a new body of believers. Read on.
To which he was most closely attached, and most evident proof of this may be found in the events which actually took place.
Stop. Is Christ testing disposition? Go to Luke chapter 9, verse 57. Is Christ testing disposition? Does Christ test disposition? Does he test the inner mind or the reasons and motivations behind what people say that they're going to do and what they believe in?
Luke chapter 9 and verse 57. And it came to pass that as they went in the way.
You got to read it fast. Slow it down.
God. And it came to pass that as they went in the way.
He says, and it came to pass as they went in the way. Read.
A certain man said unto him.
He said, a certain man came to Christ and said what?
Lord, I will follow thee whithersoever thou goest.
He said, Lord, I'm going to follow you wherever you go. Then Christ said, bet that. Cool. We own it now. Now we let's rock out.
We locked in.
We locked in. Let's rock out right now. Now let's get this mission going. Did Christ automatically assume this man is legit in what he's saying?
Nah.
So, what was Christ's response? Read.
And Yahushua said unto him.
This is Christ, Jesus Christ, Son of God, talking to this man who just told Christ, I'm going to follow you wherever you go. What was this? What was Christ, the Son of God's response to this man who made the claim, I'm going to follow you wherever you go? Read.
And Yahushua said unto him, foxes have holes.
He said, you know what, man? Foxes got holes. What else?
And birds of the air have nests.
He said, even a bird got a place for comfort and safety, and to rest, and to sleep, and to feel secure. Read on.
But the Son of Man,
he said, but when you follow me, read on,
have not where to lay his head.
I don't have a designated place of comfort to lay my head. I'm on the road. What is he saying? His lifestyle is not secure, and it's not comfortable.
Yep.
And it's not going to be based upon your preference and your location of where you feel is safe. Sometimes you just got to sleep wherever whoever invites you into their home. Sometimes you just got to eat at whoever bring you into dinner. Quite often do we read that Christ ate at the table of people that invited him into his home. Even Pharisees.
Yep.
So there's no stability guaranteed. Read.
God says, and he said unto another, follow me.
And he told another man. He told this man, hey, follow me. What did this man say?
But he said, Lord, suffer me first to go and bury my father.
He said, wait a minute. I got family business to take care of first. My father just died. Is Christ saying, I understand. My condolences. Did Christ say, my heart go out to you?
Yeah.
And your family?
You and your loved one.
And your loved ones? R.I.P. your dad.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
My heart go out to him. What did Christ say?
Yahushua said unto him, let the dead bury their dead.
Was he listening to the excuse?
La.
Was he accepting of the excuses?
La.
He didn't say take some time for your mental health.
Take a week off. And come back and get at me. I'll catch up with me in Galilee.
Yeah.
I'm heading north. I'll be in Samaria next week. Just meet up with me at the well. At Jacob's well. Meet up with me at Jacob's well next week in Samaria. I'll give you some fresh water. Meet me at the water well.
Yeah.
Did he say that?
No,
man. He didn't say catch up with me next week. Get up with me. He said, man, listen. Let the dead bury the dead. What is he saying?
That's right.
Read on.
Fine. Let the dead bury their dead.
Go ahead.
But go down and preach the kingdom of the Most High.
He said, when you follow me, you got a job that starts now. Your job starts today. It don't start next week. Usually, you can read in the scripture in Ecclesiastes 41 or 38. Well, sometimes a person grieved their family for 7 days.
Yeah.
That was custom, or a few days, but minimum of 7 days of grieving. The teaching starts now. The timer starts now. You on the hook right now. You say, I asked you, I told you to follow me. I commissioned you. I gave you a job. I gave you a duty. Follow me. You trying to put off from following me to go grieve for 7 days. You trying to start this job next week. Yeah. I'm not having you start this job next week. This teaching job starts today.
Man.
Read.
Says, and another also said.
And another one. A whole bunch of people. Go ahead.
Lord, I will follow thee.
I will follow you. I am going to follow you. Read.
And another also said, Lord, I will follow thee.
Go ahead.
But let me
stop. You said what?
But.
Stop. Why is there a but? Is there any buts to following Christ?
No.
Should there be any buts to following Christ?
No.
I will follow you.
I have some pending affairs.
I want to follow you.
Yeah.
I plan on following you.
Tomorrow. tomorrow.
And tomorrow. I want to follow you, but what?
Says, but let me first go bid them farewell.
When you say first, what does that mean? When somebody said, let me do this first.
I got a priority.
That's priority. I've already classified this as being the most important.
Family first,
this is first.
Family first,
This is first.
Then God.
Then I'll follow you. You're going to be second. Teaching and preaching is second. I'm going to get back with you. Let me do this first.
Yeah.
That's the order of importance. Yes, sir.
I met a gentleman at the mall the other day. He's got a job. He been without a job for a long time. I'll talk to him and stuff, and he said he got a job, but he had the nerve to tell the manager, "But I got to go to this concert though."
So I can't start. I can't start Monday.
There's a website of grieving black women that they got this little group on, and they talk about their misfortunes, their failures, their trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
And one of the girls shared on the little group that, I spent my money on a concert and now I'm homeless. I went to go see my favorite artist and I spent my rent money on a concert and now I'm homeless and I got me and my kids sleeping in the car.
Come on, bro.
And they're confessing all their little mistakes, and they're they're looking for group therapy, and they're looking for sympathy, and they're looking for camaraderie, and
I understand.
Some solace, some solace, some comfort. So they're pouring their beans out and spilling the beans on each other about all the mistakes they make. But who the hell made that artist more important than your rent? For a couple of songs that that they lip sing.
Yeah, exactly.
And you didn't even get up close and go backstage?
You know the song. You can listen to the song in your car. It's not a new song.
You didn't even catch a napkin or a handkerchief. You didn't get the water bottle thrown on you like Summer Jam.
Yeah, good as that.
You didn't get the guitar pick or nothing. You way up there in the back, and now you ain't got no place to live. And you got about an hour and a half of entertainment with some bad sound engineers. Sound check was horrible, and now you ain't got no place to live. But that's how people operate with Christ. I have no other salvation. There is no other salvation but Christ. Why in the hell would I put my salvation off for something that doesn't give me salvation? There is no other salvation but Christ. There's no other salvation. The scriptures say Christ is the author and the finisher of our faith. So, why would I put my salvation off for something that actually is not that important? But finish that.
It says, and another also said, Lord, I will follow thee, but let me first go bid them farewell.
Let me go say bye to my family, because I have a real close attachment, and our family is tight.
Yeah.
I live in a family where we're all tight with each other. All the uncles, cousins, brothers, sisters, we're all the nephews, nieces, grandparents, we're all collectively tight. But I gotta say bye to them first. I gotta go make sure that they're in the know that I'm about to do this job, I'm heading for this job to serve you. Christ understands that when people say these things, they're buying time. They're not really fully committed. They're making excuses. Read.
Lord, I will follow thee, but let me first go bid them farewell,
Go ahead.
which are at home at my
He
house.
said, but where are they?
At my house.
They're at home. Where?
At my house.
Was it really about the family?
Nah.
What was it about?
My house.
It was about his house.
Yeah.
It wasn't about the family. He was about going home.
Yeah.
Get the last minute item.
He ain't getting the last minute items. He going home and close the door. He's not coming outside that house when he get to the house.
Alright.
Let me go home first. When you selling a bottle of oil, and somebody say, "Hey man, let me go to my car real quick."
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, they say I'll be back. Let me go.
Let me get these shoes first.
Let me get these shoes first. Or let me go to the food court first.
Yep.
What
Let me
what are they doing?
But they're out there.
They buy time, but you know, I'll be like,
Listen,
hey,
man.
we're gonna process right here.
Listen, but that,
Get right here.
we gotta be like Christ, man. You gotta listen. Your job starts now.
It's right now.
This purchase
Right now,
starts right now.
What's holding you back?
Yeah. Let me go talk to my wife first.
Yeah.
My wife get off later on.
Yeah.
We coming back to the mall this weekend.
Yeah.
You gonna be here?
Yeah, I'll see you there. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Okay. So, read on.
That's funny.
And Yahushua said unto him,
And what was Christ's response? Yeah, go to your people. Let your people know what you're about to do. Read.
No man having put his hand to the plow.
Any man that starts this work, and this work starts today, and if you're already making excuses to do this job, which starts today, read on.
And looking back,
And you're looking back to family and making peace with your people and making priorities with and situate you got personal situations that you got to handle.
Yep.
That's things that are taking priority. Read on.
is fit for the kingdom of the Most High.
You're not fit for what?
The kingdom of the Most High.
You just forfeited your salvation to make final amends with your family. You forfeited your salvation and eternal life so you could bury a man that was already passed away, whose spirit has already departed. Is that really worth everlasting life?
No.
Finish this right here.
Huh. Says, for innumerable companies of men from a countless variety of cities.
He said, well, when the Most High chose where we were going to go worship Him, and we weren't allowed to pick and choose the place, the location, He designated that. He didn't give us that power. Read on.
Some by land, some by sea.
He said men came from land. They walked, they cameled, they horsed, they were on foot. He said some came by boat, they came by lake, they came by stream, they came by river. Read.
From east and from west.
He said they came from all directions. This was the custom when it came to serving the Lord. People got there however they got there. They didn't let the direction stop them. They didn't let the transportation stop them or the lack thereof. They didn't let any excuses stop them. Read on.
From the north and from the south came to the temple at every festival.
It says they came to the temple at every single what?
Every festival.
Did they miss a festival?
No.
This is how you know when people actually have a piety or reverence or respect for the Most High. Muslims don't even worship the Most High correctly. It's a off-brand, plagiarized version of the Bible, the Quran. But yet, when it's Mecca, when it's time to go to Mecca,
Pilgrimage.
and the pilgrim and do the Hajj, they will fly, they will put their jobs on hold, they will commute, they will travel, they will take tickets, planes on travel bans, international bans, the COVID bans, they'll wear a face mask, but they're going to go to Mecca and they're going to make that pilgrimage around that cobblestone, that meteorite, black meteorite rock.
It's fairly simple.
And they'll walk along and they'll pray and chant and they'll do that and they'll make their pilgrimage because in their mind, that's them serving the Lord. And that's an off-brand plagiarized version of the Bible that Muhammad was looking for something to unify his people, which was good for his people. Arabs, which is good for them. It stabilized them. It allowed them to have one God versus 365 deities that they used to worship.
Yep.
They were war with each other. They still war with each other.
Yep.
The Shiites and the Sunnis. But it's something that galvanized them Arabs as a people. It was good for the Arabs.
Okay.
But here the Most High has a Bible that's good for the black, Hispanic, and Native American man in America. And we won't go the distance for him. The true God, who has a son that gave us a second opportunity through sacrifice and crucifixion, and his blood cleansed us, but we won't come out of our houses. We won't be inconvenienced. It's too much. But let an Arab know it's a Muslim holiday today. As a matter of fact, called Eid. Eid al-Far or something. I don't know the whole name of it. But anything owned by Arab that you go to is closed today. For those true Muslims that worship, all their shops are closed today. They'll be open for Christmas. They'll be open for Thanksgiving. They don't give a damn about no American holidays. They'll be open 365 days a year, but when it comes to their supposed high holy days, their holidays, they stop the money. They stop business. They'll do that for their God. But what we find out with Christ is that we want to pick and choose what we do for the true and living God. The author of our salvation, we don't want to be uncomfortable. We want to wrap everything around the house, which is the cause of our malfunctions, is our pace. The Most High shakes us out of our pace. Read on.
It says, came to the temple at every festival as if to some common refuge.
It says, but they came every single festival as if some common what?
Refuge.
As if they were taking refuge. Like, man, this is a place where I need to be because I get safety and security. I get comfort. This is my safe dwelling place. This is where I go when the world is kicking me down. As a matter of fact, read on.
It says, as if to some common refuge and safe asylum from the troubles of this most busy and painful life.
People go to serve the Lord to get away from this troubled life. People serve the Lord at this time as a refuge and a place of comfort, as a place of tranquility, like a damn vacation. They looked at serving the Lord like, man, I can't wait to the feast. I can't wait to go to Jerusalem. I can't wait to go to the temple. I can't wait to do my sacrifices for the Lord. That's actually comfortable to me. Class is comfortable to me. Class is peaceful to me. It recalibrates my mind. I'm at home when I'm around the Bible. I'm at home when I'm around believers. I'm at home when I hear prayers. Not everybody feels that way. Read.
Seeking to find tranquility.
It says they seek to find what at the temple?
Tranquility.
What else?
And to procure a remission of and respite from those cares by which from their earliest infancy they had been hampered and weighed down.
It said, man, the cares of this life weighed me down from actually giving myself completely to the Most High. So when we have these opportunities, I can't wait to go. I can't wait to be there. I can't wait to study. I can't wait to pray. I can't wait to take notes. I can't wait to read the Bible. I can't wait to serve the Lord. I can't wait because that's comfortable to me. That's peace of mind for me. But you got some people, like you read earlier in Isaiah, this is a gin, it's a trap, it's a stone of stumbling, it's an offense. I don't really like it there. It's too long, talk too much, too many notes. I don't understand all the Bible verses. It's too much of an inconvenience. It's not close to my house. It's a long drive. A lot of us got the wrong perspective. When back then, they ran to the sanctuary. They ran to the temple. because of what it provided them. They didn't give a damn about chasing nothing in the world. They said the world was a burden to them. The temple was peace and safety. Read on.
And so, by getting breath, as it were,
They said, man, it's a the class is a chance for me to catch my breath from the troubles of life, from the stress of the world. I can breathe when I go to class. I can breathe when I hear scriptures. I can breathe better. I can collect my thoughts when the Bible's being taught. Everything else is a stressor. Do we all look at the truth the same way? Or do we look at the truth like, man, I can't wait to get away from these people. I've been with these brothers all day. I really don't know these sisters too well. Not comfortable. This is too much.
I just got off work.
I just got off work. When am I going to get some me time? Are we done for today? Are we done? Are we dismissed? Are we good? We leaving? Everybody's out? Now I can go back to my comfort.
Yep.
My dwelling place. My house. My rest. My home. Read on.
To pass a brief time in cheerful festivity.
It said when I'm around the brothers and the sisters, time don't last long enough. It's too quick. He said, but I get a chance to pass the time with what?
In cheerful festivities.
Man, I have a blast when I'm with the brothers, man. I have a blast for every feast that we have, every festival that we have, all the brothers that we interact with, all the sisters we interact with. We have a blast, man. That's what it's all about. Communing with each other, fellowshipping with each other. Read on.
Being filled with good hope.
And you know what? And we're filled with good hopes at this time. That's when the spirits are high. Not Christmas. Christmas is not the season. 'Tis the season of all the festivals of the Lord. That's the season. Read on. All the feasts of the Lord is the season. Read on.
And enjoying the leisure.
And enjoying what?
The leisure.
I get to enjoy the time I get to spend with brothers. There's too many men that look at men like a problem. That's because there's something in the world that they want that's more important. Too many sisters that look at the sisters like a problem. That's because it's alternative things in life that they want. This is supposed to be a breath of fresh air. We got it wrong. We look at the truth wrong. We look at the Bible wrong. We look at the laws and the commandments wrong. We look at Christ wrong. We look at everything wrong. And if you're looking at what you do for the Lord wrong, you take note of the way it's supposed to be. Take note of how men used to be when they went to serve the Lord. They enjoyed the fellowshipping. They couldn't wait. And it was too quick. Read on.
Enjoying the leisure of that most important necessary vacation, which consists in forming a friendship.
And what am I doing when I get there?
Forming a friendship.
Am I not saying nothing to nobody?
Forming a friendship.
I can't wait to get away from people.
Forming a friendship.
I can't wait to go home.
Forming a friendship.
I can't wait to do me.
Forming a friendship.
This is how the Most High know when you really want to serve Him. You'll go wherever He's at. And when you're there to do your service to the Lord, you're looking to create friendships and bonds with believers. Read.
Forming a friendship with those hitherto unknown.
They said, I didn't know these people, but I know them now. We were strangers before, but now we tight. Now I got somebody that I can't wait to meet and talk to and converse with and unify with. We're supposed to be looking to tie ourselves in with the believers, not run away from them and despise them. That's how you know we tripping. That's how you know we got it wrong. Finish that?
But now initiated by boldness and the desire to honor the Most High.
He said what?
But now initiated by boldness and a desire to honor the Most High.
Go ahead.
And forming a combination of actions and a union of dispositions so as to join in sacrifices and liberations.
It said and sacrifices and libations. Libations are drinks. I'm enjoying the drinks and the conversation, and I'm unifying myself with those that believe. And I want to sacrifice to the Lord with these individuals that the Lord gave me. I enjoy sacrificing to God and doing my sacrifices with God with these particular individuals. We're unified in our joy and our pleasure of serving the Lord. I got new friends now. I used to have friends that would just, get into something, criminal buddies, or we just gonna hit the club, or we just gonna hang out, or we just gonna party, we just gonna chase the lust and chase the flesh. I used to have friends for that. I don't have friends like that no more. I have friends in the spirit. It's bigger than just pleasing the body. We're unified in pleasing the Lord. Finish that.
To the most complete confirmation of mutual goodwill.
It says to the what?
It says to the most complete confirmation of mutual goodwill.
So he's showing you how it's supposed to be when we're around each other. And this is why the Most High said, I can't let y'all have all the control. If I give y'all all the control and let y'all go at your pace, none of these bonds will be built. None of these relationships will be made. Everybody will just be into their own particular houses and their own particular comforts. Nobody would know nobody.
Yeah, but their own particular people.
But their own people. Just who they are familiar with and socialize with at home. That's why the Most High said, I can't let y'all have all the control. You know, crazy, go to Psalm. We're going to wrap it up. It's already 10:14. Psalm chapter 40. Oh, man. Read verse 5.
Psalm chapter 40 and verse 5.
Somebody else read Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 20 and 22 real quick. We got to get through this real fast. I want to finish it up. Psalm chapter 40, verse 5.
Psalm chapter 40 and verse 5. Many, O Lord, my power, are thy wonderful works which thou hast done.
It says, that's what we were talking about earlier. You can't quantify all the good that the Most High has put around us. It cannot be quantified. Read on.
And thy thoughts which are to usward.
It says, and the way that you look at us, and the benefits that you have bestowed upon us, and the people that you put in our lives, that you've allowed us to cross paths with, and to serve with, and to worship with, are wonderful individuals, male and female. Hold that. Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 20 through 22.
Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 20. Thou shalt fear the Most High, thy power.
Go ahead.
Him shalt thou serve, and to him shalt thou cleave, and swear by his name.
We're supposed to be cleaving to the Lord and swearing by his name. Read on.
He is thy praise.
He is what?
He is thy praise.
He is the purpose of what we're supposed to be teaching. He's the reason behind the teaching. We're supposed to be we're coming here together to praise the Lord. Give him his due, his glory. Read on.
And he is thy power.
And he is our power. Read on.
That have done for thee these great and terrible things.
He said the Most High has done great and terrible things for us, on our behalf, for us. He's always been in our corner. That's why he's worthy to be praised and taught. And his testimony deserves to be preached. And glory should be given to the Most High. Finish that?
God says, that have done for thee these great and terrible things, which thine eyes have seen. Thy fathers went down into Egypt.
He said your eyes have seen, and you've been a witness of how beautiful the Most High is.
God.
Why wouldn't you want to give it all to the Most High? Why would you want to wrap your service to God around your house? Let that go and go back to where we was at in Psalm 40.
Psalm chapter 40 and verse 5. Many, O Lord, my power, are thy wonderful works which thou hast made, that thou hast done, and thy thoughts which are to usward.
Go ahead.
They cannot be reckoned up in order unto thee.
You can't even write down everything and recall all the good that the Most High has done for each and every one of us. It cannot be recollected. It cannot be recalled. It's too much. What the benefits that the Most High has for us, and the desire of our peace and our happiness and our felicity, you can't be quantified how the Most High loves us so much. He loves us so much. It cannot be quantified. Read on.
If I would declare and speak of them,
Go ahead.
they are more than can be numbered.
That's why I can't even write down
That's what I was just thinking.
what the Most High has done for me, because it's too much.
Yeah.
And the longer you serve the Lord, the more that you won't be able to recall all the good He's done, because it's too much. He's that great to us. You can't recall it. You don't. We don't even have the ability to think about every single good, and even though we don't even understand how the Most High has things set up for us to benefit from that we didn't see on the back end. Can't do it.
And it's not like some, speed date or anything. It takes all those different kind of sacrifices for us to even see those kinds of miracles.
That's right. We can't quantify it, man. It cannot be quantified of how much the Most High loves you. Read on.
Right. Sacrifice and offering thou didst not desire.
You know what it comes down to? We talked about giving whole offerings and whole burnt offerings and giving tithes and giving free will offerings and giving heave offerings. We talked about giving vows. You know what it comes down to? The Most High really don't care about that either. He really don't care about all that. All the burnt animals. He didn't really care about all that. It was something that the Most High cared that even was more important than the sacrifices. That prevailed over burnt offerings and promises and vows and grain and crops and wheat and barley. Read on.
Sacrifice and offering thou didst not desire.
Read.
Mine ears hast thou opened.
Go ahead.
Burnt offering and sin offering hast thou not required.
We did it, and the Most High was just using it as a test to determine how we look at Him and how much we love Him. He was just using the sin offerings and the sacrifices as a test. How much do you love me? Let me find out. Well, bring an offering to me. Let me see what you think of me. Oh, you gonna put a leg on the altar? You're not gonna give me the whole animal? You gonna give me the hoof?
The wing.
You gonna burn the horn? You ain't gonna give me the whole animal? Oh, I know how you. I see how you. I see you. Oh, you come to class once a week. You come to class once a month. You come to class every so often. I see you.
You just don't lie.
You pray only when there's a problem, when there's something wrong, when your back is against the wall. I see you. Oh, you would say thank God when you got the job you want. I see you. Oh, I'm only good to you when your relationship is good. I see you. You know what the Most High did? All the sacrifices and offerings, that was just a testing measure, an instrument of measurement to see how we look at Him. David knew better than that there was more to it than that. Finish that?
Con. That was it.
Yeah, finish that last part again. He said burnt offerings and sin offerings.
Con. Burnt offering and sin offering hast thou not required.
Jump down to verse 8.
Verse 8. I delight to do thy will.
You know what David understood that preceded and prevailed over just giving offerings? How many people actually enjoy doing the will of the Father? That actually takes precedence over sacrifices. How many of us actually enjoy doing the will of the Father? Doing what He wants over what we want. Do you really love serving the Lord over yourself or over your comforts? David understood that that had more weight. It was more valuable to the Father than all the little sacrifices that we was given. That you enjoy being around His people and serving Him. Read on.
Fine. I delight to do thy will, all my power. Yea, thy law is within my heart.
You don't gotta put a law in front of my face. I already want to do it. I already want to follow. I'm already in accordance with you. I'm already in agreement with you. I'm already in the right mind with you. I don't need a reminder because I already want to do it. Read.
I preach righteousness.
And because I want to do it, I'm going to tell everybody about you. And I'm going to tell everybody I know how good you are. That is more important than sacrifices. Read on.
I have preached righteousness in the great congregation.
And I'm going to tell everybody how good you are. The Most High would rather have that than you burn a damn ram's hind leg or a goat body. Go ahead. Read on.
No, I have not refrained my lips.
He said, I'm not going to stop talking about how good you are. I'm going to keep preaching and teaching. That's more important than you making promises to God. Read on.
O Yahweh, thou knowest, I have not hid thy righteousness within my heart.
He said, I'm going to tell everybody, man. I'm not going to keep you a secret to nobody. Read.
I have declared thy faithfulness.
I'm going to put everybody's trust into you as much as I can. I'm going to make the world and everybody I come across put their trust in you. And to show how faithful you are. David said, I understand that this is more important than just giving some sacrifices. Preaching and teaching. Read on.
I have declared thy faithfulness and thy salvation.
He said, and I'm going to show how you're the one that gives and grants salvation. Read on.
I have not concealed thy loving kindness.
And I'm going to share my abundant relationship and the pleasure that I receive from doing your will. I'm going to share that with everybody. I'm not going to be ashamed of our relationship. Read on.
I have not concealed thy loving kindness and thy truth from the great congregation.
So what's more important? Me giving the Most High a couple of hours a day and just some petty prayers that we really don't want to do anyway? Or actually making a full commitment and declaring his righteousness to the whole world and teaching his people and spreading his gospel with joy and delight. If the Most High got to twist your arm to serve him, you really didn't want to serve him. David understands, man, it ain't nothing for him to spread this gospel. Nothing. And that's the way it should be with us. Last verse. Romans chapter 2, verse 10, verse 2 and 3. Chapter 10, verse 2 and 3.
Romans chapter 10, verse 2.
I'm going to squeeze 5 more minutes in. Keep going.
For I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High.
Stop. He says, it's true that our people have a zeal. The problem is there's 2 types of zeal. Get the definition of zeal. Zeal goes both ways. There's 2 types of zeal. Get the definition of zeal.
Zeal, 1828, Webster's Dictionary. It says, passionate ardor.
He says, some people are passionate about serving the Lord. That's when zeal is good. When you have a passion to serve the Lord. That's a good zeal. Jump down where it's another kind of zeal. Towards the bottom.
It says a zeal for liberty.
Stop. That's a different kind of zeal. It's not just one type of zeal. Not one kind of passion. Some people are inspired to serve the Lord, motivated to serve the Lord. Some people they have a zeal for what?
Liberty.
Their desire, their passion is being free from the Lord. That's a different kind of zeal. Which one do our people have? Our people have the zeal to go sleep and to go rest and to be comfortable and be about our houses. Our zeal is in our homes. That's what's important to us. That's why Christ said, man, foxes have holes, birds have nests, son of man have nowhere to lay his head. Let me go bid my family farewell, which are at home in my house. That's where some people's zeal is at. I'm passionate when it comes to my house. When it comes to my particular house, I'm passionate. But when it comes to the Most High's house, I'm not so passionate. 2 different kinds of zeals. Read that last part of zeal.
A zeal for liberty.
A zeal for liberty, go ahead.
Is sometimes an eagerness to subvert.
It says that zeal is when somebody is quick to go home, or quick to get out, or quick to get away from somebody, or quick to depart, or be out of anybody's view. that person is quick to what?
Subvert.
They're really trying to corrupt. They're about to corrupt themselves. And that's what subvert means, to corrupt yourself. They're trying to get free so I can corrupt myself with no restraint. You're not getting free so that you can do more service to the Lord. You're trying to get free to do you so you can do what the hell you want to do, which is only going to corrupt you. That's not the right kind of zeal. Now let that go and go back to Romans chapter 10, verse 2 and 3.
Kind. I got that last part in zeal too.
What you got?
It says, just after that part of liberty, it says, a zeal for liberty is sometimes an eagerness to subvert with little care.
With what?
With little care.
Go ahead.
What shall be established?
I don't care what happens, as long as I get it to fulfill what I want. I don't really care. As long as I get some freedom, I get some me time, that's all I care about. That ain't the right zeal. Now go back to Romans 10, 2 and 3. We're going to finish it with that.
Romans chapter 10 and verse 2. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge.
It's not the right kind of zeal. The zeal that we have is according to our rest, our comfort. Read on.
For they being ignorant
Our liberty. Read on.
of the Most High's righteousness.
Because we don't know the will of the Father, neither do we delight in His will, neither do we have understanding in His will, like we talked about at the beginning of the class. Read on.
And going about to establish their own righteousness.
And this is that other type of zeal that's not good. It's about me and what I think is right. And remember what the Most High said in Numbers or Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 8. He says, I'm not going to let you do your own will. What you think is right in your own mind. That's the wrong kind of zeal. Because we got zeal for that. We just don't have zeal for Him. We're not inspired for Him. Read on.
Fine. And going about to establish their own righteousness.
Which the Most High said in Deuteronomy chapter 12, I do not want to let you do. This is why I couldn't give you all control. This is why I couldn't let you dictate the pace. This is why I couldn't let you dictate where the center of worship is going to be. Because you would wrap it around your comfort. That's not the right zeal. Read on.
Fine. It says, and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of the Most High.
Now, when you read about zeal, there's an individual that stands out more. Then you read about the zeal of Phinehas, which was a son of a chief priest. But he made an act of putting to death some people that was doing some idolatry to Baal Peor, and he put both of them individuals to death. And the Most High said, for this reason, because of your zeal for me, I'm going to make a covenant of peace with you. Matter of fact, give me that. Numbers chapter 25, verse 10 through 13. And then you read this for me real quick. When it says, and he appointed. All right. Read that. Numbers chapter 25, verse 10 through 13. Read that real quick.
Numbers chapter 25, verse 10. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, have turned my wrath away from the children of Israel.
This man's zeal caused the Most High's anger to turn from the children of Israel. So in sort of a perspective, he was like a savior to Israel because his actions caused the Most High's anger to be pacified. Read on.
While he was zealous for my sake.
And he was zealous for who?
My sake.
Was he zealous to do his own thing? And be about his pleasure? He was zealous for the Most High. Read on.
While he was zealous for my sake among them.
Go ahead.
That I consume not the children of Israel.
I spared the children of Israel behind that man's zealousness, behind that man's zeal, behind that man's enthusiasm to serve me, by that man's delight to serve me, to do my will, like David said. Read on.
That I consume not the children of Israel.
Go ahead.
In my jealousy.
Go ahead.
Wherefore say, behold, I give unto him my covenant of peace.
He says, I'm going to make peace with that man and his generation forever. Phinehas, because of his zeal, is forever going to be at peace with me. Guess who the Maccabees came from? They came from Phinehas' lineage. Mattathias, Judas, all the brothers, they came from Phinehas. When Mattathias killed and slew that man that was sacrificing pig on the altar, and he killed the man and the Roman that was sacrificing pig on the altar, where did they get that spirit from? The zeal of Mattathias, after he killed that man, he said, whoever is zealous for the law, follow me. Where did they get that zeal from? They got it from their forefather, Phinehas. Those men always were able to pacify the Most High's wrath because of their sold out, gung-ho commitment to him. And they wouldn't give sin a fly zone. It was a no-fly zone for sin. And the Maccabees came out of Phinehas' lineage. And he said, for this man's deeds that we read all the way back in Numbers, he said this man forever is going to be at peace with me. Read on.
And he shall have it, and his seed after him.
And his seed after him. Read on.
Even the covenant of an everlasting priesthood.
He said, I'm going to make his priesthood never end. He's always going to have priests come out of his lineage. Because of the action that he performed out of the right type of zeal, the right type of enthusiasm. Give me this right here.
This is Philo, page 488. It says, and he appointed Phinehas to be the commander in the war.
Go ahead.
As he already given proof of the happy daring.
He says this man had already showed proof of the what?
Happy daring.
He already showed proof that there's nothing that he wasn't willing to do. Go ahead.
Which becomes a general.
He says those type of actions, when you got the right kind of zeal, you become a what?
A general.
He said generals are made by what? Zeal. Generals aren't made because of comfort. Generals aren't made because I'm wrapping my life around my circumstance and my home life. He said, general, he said, this man's actions is becoming of a what?
Of a general.
So if anybody aspiring to be a general, this is what it takes. The delight of the Lord has to be priority. It has to be number one. Not you and your comfort and your house and things you got going on and your own predation of business. All that, like Christ said, man, follow me. Well, let me first go do this. Well, if you got all this butts and you got all this other priority, then you're not made to be elevated as a leader in the institution of the Most High.
It says, delight is a more permanent pleasure than joy, and not dependent on sudden excitement.
And it's not dependent upon what?
Sudden excitement.
It's joy. I find long-term joy and happiness in doing what I do for the Lord. It's not a one-off, spin-off, only when things are good in my favor. I'll only serve Lord. I'm only happy when things are up. I'm only happy when God is blessing me. No. It's not a one-off type of thing. It's a permanent thing. It's a permanent pleasure for serving the Lord. He said, but I bear them record, my people have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. Read verse 3 of Romans chapter 10. And that'll be the last verse.
Romans chapter 10 and verse 3. For they being ignorant of the Most High's righteousness, and going about to establish their own righteousness.
That's not what generals are made of. Generals are not made of establishing their own righteousness, wrapping things around their own comfort. Read on.
Have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of the Most High.
And if you have it, you can't be elevated and looked at and selected by the Most High for greater positions if you don't learn how to what?
Submit.
You still struggle with doing the Most High's will, then you need to go ahead and wake up. You need to go ahead and wake up and realize it's not about you. It's about what did the Most High create you for. It's about you being a teacher, to profess His name and to praise His name and to bring glory to Him and make believers out of people. Because that's what David said. The Most High got more pleasure with than just sacrifices and offerings. Any questions? With that, we're going to say shalom. He said they have not submitted themselves. What?
They have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of the Most High.
Go ahead.
For Yahushua is the end of the law.
He said because the whole point of the law is serving Christ. That's what it comes down to. Do I really want to serve Christ or not? That's what all these commandments come down to. But with that, we're going to say shalom to Water for hanging in there with us this Shabbat. Shabbat shalom. And we will see you tomorrow in the morning for Sabbath class in the morning, starting at 10 o'clock. All right? Okay. Good to see everybody online. Shalom to everybody in class. And with that, let's go into the prayer. Imagine we'll put your shalom. Rise and face Jerusalem. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Badash, Hayah, Shabkam, Yahweh, Malak with Kam, Raba'ah, Ratazakam, Hayah, Aisha, Ratazah, Kawab, Hayah, Bashemayim, Ratananawa, Bacham, Kol, Yawam, Wasalachnawa, Kabwathnawa, Kasalachnawa, Kabwathinawa, Wala'ah, Zabianawa, Wanasawan, Abo, Lawashana, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Bakam, Amalakwa, Ma'alam, Watapara, Aman. Four corners. Yahweh, Basham, Yahushua, Raklanaw, Washala, Wahabiyah, Zapari, 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 Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, What Yahweh, What Yahushua, all love, all mercy, all truth, all righteousness, all joy, all peace, all love, all power from Yahweh, all power from Yahweh, all power from Yahweh. In Yahushua's name we pray. The water, the yad, aman. Men circle up. Sisters have a seat. Squeeze it in. Let the young man in.
Salute out the heavy order. Select. Saluting out of the heavy order. Yahweh, Yahushua, Woko Yashala, in Israel. Amaj, Brook. Yahweh, Kumishah. That's your time. Turn for sisters. Sisters, please stand. Amaj Shabbat. Salute out of the daughter of Zion, in Israel. Amaj, Brook.
Yajimachab, dismissed. Fall out. All right, shalom. Shabbat shalom, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
You know how I thought it was?